say you'll be mine, if only for tonight. Come on with me and love me till sunrise. I know that you want me all over you, all over your body. Let's not waste time, 'cause the moment feels right. So hold me close like we're not just strangers. Take my hand with life with no danger. Have to be lonely. Hold me close like we're not just strangers. Take my hand with life with no danger. Have to be lonely tonight. Lonely tonight. Tonight. Let's put away our problems and heartache. I'll make you forget all of your bad days. I know that you want me all over you, all over your body. Let's take our time, 'cause babe, I'm yours all night. So hold me close like we're not just strangers. Take my hand with life with no danger. Have to be lonely. Hold me close like we're not just strangers. Take my hand with life with no danger. Have to be lonely tonight. Lonely tonight. Tonight. Just wanna have fun. Babe, take me home. Don't leave me undone. We don't have to be alone. Just wanna have fun. Babe, take me home. Don't leave me undone. We don't have to be alone. So hold me close like we're not just strangers. Take my hand with life with no danger. Have to be lonely. Hold me close like we're not just strangers. Take my hand with life with no danger. Have to be lonely tonight. Lonely tonight. Virus, narcissus, Medusa, Epasos, Ashalala, susus, Minerva, Ecobubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Chaos, Dionysus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Epasos, Ashalala, susus, Minerva, Ecobubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love Aphrodite, Ventus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, couscous, couscous. I love it when you couscous. Love it, 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 love it. I love it when you couscous. Love it, love, I love it, love, I love it, love, I love it when you love it, love it, love, I love it when you couscous. Love it, love, I love it, love, I love it, love, I love it, love it, love it, love, I love it when you couscous.
Well, it's bright and early here on Sunday morning, Father's Day as well. Happy Father's Day to your father, Michael.
Well, not me. I'm not a dad, so
no. Well, to your dad.
Happy Father's Day to you, of course.
And I was more so referencing Mr. Gurry. Did you do anything special this morning, or was it in bed?
No, I just rolled out of bed, turned on my computer, and ready for today. Of course, a midday start for OCE. I don't think we've had to start this early, potentially ever in the history of this region. So,
well, it's a big day. It's a big day because we've got OCE, then into APAC North, then into Asia. Of course, we're not going to be covering all three of the regions, and we've got the whole crew throughout the day. But it's a long day of Siege ahead for those at home. You know, strap yourselves in because it's going to be game after game. For I think about the next 12 hours straight, pretty much, with a short little break in between the regions as to get everything sorted. But OCE Playday 2 to begin with, as you said, bright and early. But it is on the weekend, so everyone should be available and ready to go. And we get a couple of good storylines to come into today off the back of Playday 1 that we saw, was it 3 days ago? Chiefs were dominant, Dream Warriors with a perfect start, and Enterprise kind of picked up where they left off. And now we get to sort of welcome in Ludvica as well into the stage. They did not play 3 days ago, but apparently they got given 3 points. So I would imagine then if you get the bye, you get given 3 points, which is good news for everyone, because at some point you're going to win.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how you want to frame it. Again, and perhaps you didn't join us for Playday 1, so for those unaware, the top 6 make it through to playoffs for OCE, and it means that there will be just the one singular team to miss out. And probably the biggest takeaway from last week was the Outlast and Dream Warriors matchup, which could potentially be the bottom 2 teams, depending on how things shape up. I mean, Dream Warriors, to their credit, did actually play very, very well, but Outlast now on a big disadvantage heading into the rest of the stage, and that's only based on a singular playday.
Yeah, I think that when you kind of look at the stage as a whole, we kind of mentioned it last week, and you know, Ludvica, Chiefs, Enterprise, they're the big 3. And then, really, for Dream Warriors, TSG, Men, LFO, and Outlaws, despite only there being one elimination slot, the 7th slot, I would say all 4 of those teams will be looking to avoid being in that position or being around that position. So it's a really big win for Dream Warriors to go and get the 3 points on Playday 1 against Outlast. Gives them a decent little buffer. They're sitting first for now due to the round differential. I can't imagine that's going to maintain for too long, although they do play Men LFO today, and that's the most intriguing matchup, I think, maybe for the day. I mean, I know you get the grand
not
final
number two.
rematch.
Number 2 is the banger.
Well, no, I mean, I said intriguing. I didn't say the most, banging matchup. Intriguing in the sense that if Dream Warriors pick up another win against Men LFO, then that's 2 out of the 3 wins necessary against those towards the, bottom end of the standings. That might almost be enough. Not necessarily, it actually might genuinely almost be enough to secure them top 6 because of the way the format's going to work. But yeah, as you mentioned, Enterprise Ludvica, grand final rematch. That's hopefully going to be a really good one and not a letdown. These 2 teams, there was a match in the upper bracket, either final or semi-final or whatever it was, where it went 8-6. It was close. Every other map, though, Enterprise dominated Ludvica. They get their first crack here for this stage. For what will be their first game, and then Chiefs versus Outlast. Outlast, of course, will be looking to bounce back, and Chiefs hopefully can keep things going.
Yeah, I mean, anticipating that final game of the day to probably be the most lopsided, at least on paper, based on what we saw last week. Chiefs should show continued improvement. I was pretty impressed with how they were able to perform week 1 with their reformed roster. Outlast, though, probably not quite hitting the mark. Defensively quite good back on that console matchup, but their attacks were lacking. So we'll see if they can tidy that up heading into the final match of the day.
Yeah, as I said, though, I think Men LFO Dream Warriors is going to be a very fascinating one. The intrigue is there for me, then followed up by that grand final rematch. So it's going to be a really good day for O's. Again, only the 3 matches for those unfamiliar. Probably mentioned this a couple of times throughout the group stage, that with the reduction down to 7 teams, there is that bye. So in terms of who's missing out today, it will be True Synergy Gaming. So they played, of course, a couple of days ago against Chiefs. Then they get the day off. So everyone gets 1 play day off. Funnily enough, you just kind of looked at the team that misses play day 1, and which was Ludvica, and the team that misses play day 7, which actually ends up being Chiefs. So for Chiefs, you think about wanting to fight for that top 2 spot. It's kind of set up very nicely for them because they played Ludvica in play day 6. You win that, and you probably then secure a top 2. And that last play day, you don't have to sit there worrying about seeding results or anything along those lines. You lose that, and then you probably know your story anyway. So I think it's pretty set up nicely for the team that is not going to be playing that final play day, being the Chiefs. And again, also another reminder is that this is group stage. This is the same as kind of what we had last stage, back in stage 1. The only difference were we were co-streaming it. Now it's more main broadcast again, which is really good. Makes it really easy for everyone to know where the games are on. And all the games today, OCE, APAC, North Asia, will be on the main channel throughout the entire day. Keeps it nice and simplified, very easy viewing. And then later on, we get to playoffs. So that's when we bring Big Rob into the picture. And when Rob's on the screen, you know the game's serious.
Yeah, I mean, let's hone in on this first game, though, for this afternoon, man. LFO, let's have a look at them first. Pretty decent result for them back in play day 1, but probably still far off the mark as to where they really want to be at with that -4 round diff. EP, of course, a formidable force, and so, man, LFO would have been going in anticipating a difficult matchup. Defensively, though, they were actually quite good. I mixed them with Outlast when I was mentioning this previously, but they defensively were quite strong. But then heading on to attack, we saw them just try and go for the Chaos Ball, consolidated attacks, very one-dimensional, very direct, and that isn't really going to work against EP, and clearly didn't. And so I'm intrigued to see today against an opposition that's probably on a more similar level, can they tap into a little bit more depth, find a little bit more comfort, and can that translate into a match result this afternoon?
There was a strange old game, wasn't it, where we had the tech delays due to BAP and getting the graphical error. It was 1 round win, and then it was back into a rehose, 1 round win, then back into a rehose. So it was a bit of a scrappy one. But I will say for Dream Warriors, that in that game, what pleased me the most is they could have easily lost that one, 7-2. I know they ended up winning at 7-3, but they did still bring some, competitiveness against the best team in the region. A 7-3 result, I think, is exactly what you predicted going into that game. And, we saw, sorry, that's for Men LFO, not Dream Warriors. Dream Warriors, coming up on our screen now. But for Men LFO, they were competitive, which was good to see. Now they've got to go up against Dream Warriors, who were beyond competitive, in a sense. And, 7-2 smashed out Outlast as we head to the band phase. And we head to Skyscraper, which we did not get to see last week. Again, we only saw the 3 maps due to the 3 games played. But yeah, Dream Warriors were very good. And sometimes, when a team's put together like Dream Warriors, it's an amalgamation. It's a bunch of new players. It's hard to get a read on who's going to perform. How's this team roster going to, really fill out? Like someone like an Eraser came in on Playday 1 and was just magnificent. Kaken has experience, Reelers as well, and they all kind of just click together. And it's funny, I made a little bit of a quip back on Playday 1. I was like, well, yeah, Wizard and Freelo weren't really performing all that much in that game. It was the 3 new guys. What does that say maybe about, you know, Saga and their run last stage? But it does feel like, you know, last stage Saga, uncompetitive. So we only had 7 teams last stage anyway, and it looks as if we are well and truly back to 7 teams once again for this stage.
Across both the group stage and playoffs. Okay. Apparently my mic's not working.
So, tea room and karaoke.
I'm back. Apologies.
Well, you never left for me, so I don't know.
Just mentioning that Skyscraper and equal as least played. Stage 1, 2 players total across both group stage and playoffs. And naturally tends to be very, very defender-sided. That'll probably be the case here. So, and LFO with definitely the comfort side to kick things off, and intrigued to see if they can convert here and get off to a strong start.
Yeah, and it's always early days in terms of relegation games. Well, not relegation, but elimination games from playoffs. But this is certainly one of them, right? Like, as I labeled it before, I think the big 3 are going to be far too good to even enter the realm of the possibility of finishing in that 7th spot. But, you know, TSG, Dream Warriors, Man LFO, Outlast. Naturally, then the other 4 are going to have to beat up on each other to avoid that 7th. Which I know that True Synergy Gaming don't play today. Then they play Ludvica. So they actually get quite a couple of their hard games out of the way early for TSG. So we'll get a difficult read on them. They played Chiefs. They'll then play Ludvica. Yeah, so it's going to be a bit tricky to kind of maybe gauge where they're fully at until, you know, Playday 4, really. Razor, of course, one to watch. He was sensational for Dream Warriors in their 7-2 victory over Outlast a couple of days ago. Kaken and Reelers as well. Wizard, of course, was the standout for Saga last stage in a team that just couldn't find wins. Round wins, to be exact. So we'll see if he can get going. I thought Beers actually was pretty decent as well for Men LFO up against Enterprise. It was his brother Scars that really struggled. But this is going to be a far easier task for Men LFO. I mean, he's starting Skyscraper defense against Dream Warriors. You're not playing Enterprise today. So I'm expecting them to be a little bit more aggressive.
On the Monty of Kaken already over towards this top black stairs position, and so he's already in a place where he can even consider a plant, or at least pressuring out and bait out that utility from defense. Playing patient at the moment, early Nitro from Sharky, and so that's one less that can be used to deny plant. Scar's already using his as well. At the midpoint of the round, Dream Warriors already going for the plant.
They do lose Reelers, but the plant will be successful. Kaken did lose his life. A double kill from Wizard keeps Dream Warriors in a good spot in the post plant in 3v3. Pierce trying to take the fight over towards Oster on stairs, and Sharky thinking about maybe getting on that kit inside of Karaoke. Wizard's still outside on the rappel. And a Razor has actually gotten the down onto Sharky. Now Beers is going to try and go for it. Scar's good lurk kill onto a Razor. Hello, anyone going to stop Beers? Well, no one is going to stop Beers. Tucks into the corner, gets the defuse. And it's an easy one in the end for Men LFO. It's stolen away. Dream Warriors just caught napping. Well, that shouldn't be happening when you've got a player outside on the rappel.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there for Dream Warriors. They did really good groundwork at the beginning of the round, found that pocket of space, and Kaken was able to command the plant, but then Men LFO could retake, able to catch a couple of fortunate timings, and so able to break apart the post-plant setup there from DW, so yeah, pretty clean opening defensive round. I'm sure they probably weren't planning on forgiving so much space there at the beginning of the round. Retaking like that is a lower percentage play, especially with the lack of utility that they had with both Nitro's Burt before the plant attempt, but they're able to fight their way back and so able to scathe away in that opening round.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really kind of strange round. The fact that Kaken was able to get in so early into the round. I know he's playing the Montang. He can kind of flip it around, and there was no more nitrocells that he had to be wary of. He gets the plant down, but then dies immediately. Wizard on the rappel gets a double kill, brings the round back, and at that point in the 3v3, where you got one outside on the rappel, plant down, I'd love to see the kind of win percentages from that position for the attacking team. Would have been a really bright start to the game on Skyscraper to take an early attacking round on the main site of T-Room and Karaoke. Credit to the brothers, really. Scars picking up 2 crucial kills, and then Beers getting on for the counter defuse. Man, LFO take an early advantage. Taken on the Glaz as they now turn their attention over to Office and Exhibition. Wizard with kit in hand.
Reels on the Rayora here as well, maybe looking to block Samurai for entry and then dash across and towards objective. That is a set play that we see a couple of teams try. Success often next for impacts on the side of defense, so ensuring that that utility actually remains standing for the push is going to be difficult for Dream Warriors. Bit of a pivot elsewhere as well, so pinch attack to likely follow with the repels onto the opposing side of the map from T-Room across. In fact, kit being rotated as well. So maybe Reelers will lurk for the late Rayora play, rest of the team to push through T side, jump throne, etc. Maybe he can try and catch a timing here on the back hit. Bit of a split push attempt. So I think the groundwork here and the pattern from Dream Warriors again, much like the first round, looking pretty standard, looking pretty normal, quite clean. We'll see how that execution phase actually is able to go forward this time around. Pretty bunker heavy here from Man LFO. Once again, they have double Nitro in hand like the previous round.
Never even looking to contest drum. It was more of a dragon side hold towards VIP as well, shutting down that side of the map. 60 seconds left though. Dream Warriors have been able to finally take space over the Wards Dragon. This was really the one point of the map that was contested. Aiken getting involved on the Glaz, but it's Realist that finds the opening pick onto Scars. We kill onto the Azami. And there's a Razor though, struggling here in the opening 2 rounds to have an impact. Logic Bomb rings out. To clear out this lounge position though, Pluto's got a great angle. May indeed be able to just certify this round now for Men LFO. It's a full stack over towards the Dragon side of the map. Dream Warriors leaves them one-dimensional. Beers is able to collect 1. I wouldn't be surprised if he's good for another to come very shortly. Double from Sharky though, while basically stealing the kills away, and Realist is outside, and that's going to be a second round win found for Man LFO. Beers will confirm the final kill, and it looks as if that bunker defense, well, fully fortified, able to hold out and get the second round.
And the chit-chat to continue from these two. Always fun to see. And a clean opening 2 rounds there for Man LFO. The tertiary side though to be the real tester and perhaps the difference maker on the tiebreaker. Especially in a map like Skyscraper. Even more so in comparison to a lot of the more closely contested maps in terms of attack defense win rate. The tertiary is often what can really be the nail in the coffin for an attacking team. If they're unable to find success here, then it can be very, very challenging to then pick up the morale to fight back on the rotation. So we'll see how this goes and what kind of approach they want to go for, whether we vert heavy, maybe they go heavy horizontal through the likes of delivery, bathroom, etc. They do have the shield in play to maybe facilitate that, and their early composition suggesting that we're not going to see vert play attempted here from the attack. So we'll wait and see as we kind of take stock at how the match has played out so far. No one's standing out as being a huge, massive player. In fact, several players inside of the server on the 2 kills at the moment. So pretty even spread across the board. Probably looking to the likes of a Razor, maybe to have a little bit more impact. Kaken Forgiven, he's been playing Shield. Hunter as well, heavy support. So it's shaping up to be a rather close game at the moment. I know the scoreline probably doesn't really suggest that, at least in the early days, but I'm very intrigued to see how this particular site plays out and if Dream Warriors can show a little bit more fight and just a little bit more cleanliness across the board.
They were so free and flowing on Clubhouse the other day, Dream Warriors. Skyscraper's a different beast. It's only 2 rounds in. You've hit the main sites. Almost got the opening round. As you said, the scoreboard not fully indicative of this matchup so far, but Skyscraper can punish you greatly if you don't take your opportunities, and this round is one of them over towards Barbecue. In the third round, you've got to be finding a win, or it's rotating back through the main sites, and you're looking at that big deficit that we see time and time again on a map like Skyscraper. 5-1 Haas are very common. Real opening pick has started really lively. And those Scars again for the second round running man LFO. After he put a big dent into that opening round. Frag Grenade will force Hunter back. Only has the one gas babe remaining. Make that none now. That was the final one thrown out. Minute and a half to go, and the smoke is now expended in terms of utility. Nitro thrown out from Beers, and it will catch the Wizard. Beers is hot early on Skyscraper. 3 early kills for him. Sharky as well. Now matching that with the kill onto Freeload. Deals with the Yana. Kaken. And slow and steady for him on the Montang. Sharky will retake Kitchen. A raise over towards Sushi. No kills for him yet, and 1 logic bomb available.
Has a yellow ping on side, but unable to act upon that. Kaken probably a little bit frustrated that he wasn't able to get value from the Monty in this round. The rest of the team losing picks before
Beers.
he could have impact, and Beers continuing to farm on top floor. Kaken still not allowed to have impact. 2 versus 4. And Pluto to join in on the farm. And so that will be a perfect rotation for defense here. Man LFO looking to consolidate. Had a bit of hope that Dream Warriors could find success here on the tertiary, but it falls flat and the hold above is too good.
Yeah, we're going to get some of the banter as well, because it was Man LFO. You think back a couple of days ago, them and Enterprise, and certainly from Man LFO, they like their chit-chat. And you win out on that tertiary site, you go 3-0 up, and, you know, prior to that round, you could say, yeah, it's been close, and Dream Warriors have had their opportunities, but Man LFO crushed them in that round. And that just continues to then instill belief. You go back, T-Room and Karaoke, and, you know, this is the kind of round now where for Man LFO, they were pretty fortunate to win this opening round. They allowed Kaken in pretty freely on the Montang. Well, the Montang's not available now due to the ban. Azami neither, but the Montang more impactful. Completing that triple shield ban. Kaken not wanting to give up shield, though, goes on to the fuse. But it's a lot more difficult to do kind of what he did on the opening round with the Montang, but now inverse with the fuse. Struggling as well this game, Kaken. 0-3, Eraser 0-3, Freeload 0-2. 3 rounds of Siege, 3 players with no kills. Doesn't usually mean you're going to find a lot of success. On the flip side, Beers is 5-0 through the opening 3 rounds, and a counter defuse as well to add to that stat line. He's been the MVP so far. He's been looking really sharp.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
So the Deimos then to reappear for the 4th round. We saw it back on the opening round of this match. The first attempt at Karaoke T, Eraser had it in hand, and perhaps look to execute a lock down below once more and flush out sight. Kaken jumping onto the fuse off the back of the Monty ban. We saw, again, back on that opening round, they got a lot of map control very easily, able to get that plant down uncontested, but then the retake too sharp from Man LFO, who have kind of been able to set tempo in this matchup. And Dream Warriors it feels like playing catch up in terms of cluing on to what Man LFO are trying to achieve. Hunter a bit aggressive over towards backstairs. He'll play for his life in this position. Quite likely to eventually get pinched by Kaken from below, but has utility to withstand that at least for a little while. And we know that he can anchor positions quite well. Yet to find a kill in this matchup, but this could be his opportunity on the smoke to shine.
2 drones left, by the way, with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And LFO have done a really good job at hindering that drone economy. Razor trying to put pressure as the Deimos from the lower position. Sharky, well, he just steps into that line of sight, though. Sharky thought he had the read on Eraser. Eraser already had him lined up from below. Another opening kill for Dream Warriors, but yet another trade back then for Man LFO shortly thereafter. Real is also now excruciatingly low on life. And shot out by Scars. No more gas babes remaining for Hunter, but it may not be an issue. The guard break onto the fuse. Kaken trapped to the corner, and it's just getting bullied by Hunter. Only Wizard left. And I don't think he's got any spells available to save this round.
I mean, full credit to Hunter in that round. 2 kills, amazing, but stalled out so much time. Layered that utility correctly. There was no real counter util from Dream Warriors who were trying to brute force the fuse shield, but that was countered with some good playmaking elsewhere and some good support on this position. So a big round from Hunter. He's a key win condition there for the defense against that particular push, and he stands up, and with that, it's a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, and I went with the Dream Warriors on my, this was, in terms of talent predictions, the most divisive one in terms of the selections. Yourself, James, and Emmy have gone with Men LFO, and it's looking really good right now, whereas I think Ace, Demo, Dez, myself, and Nick kind of got sucked into the performance from Dream Warriors a couple of days ago, and they looked really solid. They looked really, really good. On the flip side, it's not to discredit Men LFO, but maybe to see what the potential could be for this Dream Warriors squad. But timeout, 4-0 down, and it seems like that performance against Outlast is just a flash in the pan. I mean, it's probably a case of a team that's still pretty newly put together. You're not going to be perfect every week, and they are attacking into Skyscraper, which is not always that easy. But man, LFO are looking really, really strong right now. And to mention on the talent predictions, of course, everyone has gone for Enterprise and Chiefs.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Still, not all hope is lost. Provided Dream Warriors are very strong defensively, this is one of the
Attackers have located a bomb.
very few maps where a 1-5 is considered rather salvageable.
Yeah.
I mean, that will maybe change a little bit depending on how band shape.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right?
Etc.,
They
but-
were 5-1 up on... Sorry, I thought it was Clubhouse. It was Nighthaven Labs. Clubhouse was the earlier match, Chiefs, TSG. But 5-1 up on Labs defense. So you can probably say the 2 maps in the pool at a 5-1 half is
10 seconds left.
kind of maybe doable is Skyscraper and Labs. Certainly Skyscraper for that matter. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But it's the dominance now from Men LFO. That's the concern. 2 rounds to go here for Dream Warriors. Out of a tactical timeout. You got to get at least one, right? Has to start now.
Well,
Give yourself a chance at a second. And Hunter set up nicely, but he couldn't quite convert.
Just had to wait a fraction of a second longer. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of framing this as a 1-5 is salvageable, but we still need to see where that 1 round is going to come from. Because, as you're kind of alluding to, Men LFO pretty dominant. Dream Warriors are finding it very challenging to clear a lot of key power positions around the map, which is concerning on a map like Skyscraper, where that's such a huge win con. Is that reliance on util dumping and flushing out positions. A good example was Hunter in the last round, unable to clear the stairs, and that causes so many other issues because you can't get a foothold inside of the map. Bit of an extension this time around, and so it looks like a drum hold may be a key position for defense this time around, although Hunter will peel, leave Scars by himself. Oh no, sorry, Beers is actually close by, so Beers to hold this Gish single wall. Beers go 5-0 so far. Has had an impressive start to the stage, seemingly flowing with confidence, and we'll see how Dream Warriors go about trying to clear.
C4 gets shot out. Hunter goes for a reach. It's another opening pick for Dream Warriors. It's been the one shining light for them. There's always been then that fight back to come through from Men LFO, but this time Beers in a really tough position over towards Drum, having to fight a battle on 2 fronts, and this time Dream Warriors have been able to get through the defense of Men LFO, shutting down Scars. They get their first round win out of the timeout. A big round win. That's at least the one on the board. Now you get a chance for a second, and a 2-4 half is actually, par for the course. That's kind of what you would expect on a Skyscraper attacking.
Yeah, they've given themselves that lifeline. I mean, that last round was pretty scrappy. We didn't see Men LFO contest those key power positions with probably as much discipline as I think was required. They caught a couple of bad timings on the eventual push through, and that was even before the util got layered. We saw those gunfights take place, and the attack's still able to win them out. Beers then had an opportunity maybe to be that clutch factor in that position, but again, caught a bit of an awkward timing, unable to win that duel as the push came through over towards T side. So NLFO will probably be a little bit disappointed that the round played out in that fashion, knowing they had Dream Warriors really pinned against the wall, but seemingly the attack fighting back and does now introduce that possibility of a 2-4 half. But we head over towards Exhibition. It's going to be still very, very challenging. I will say that as Army being off the board does compromise his side quite a bit. A couple of positions aren't quite as playable, especially over towards Work Office, so I'm sure they'll lean into this extension once more. They bring the mirror again. I assume they're going to go for a rather similar hold, but maybe just be a little bit more disciplined in terms of their peaking. In terms of attack, a bit of a change up here, dropping the Ying this time around. Maybe indicative that Dream Warriors are not going to go for the map clear this time and perhaps be more concentrated on the side itself. Especially with the ASIM play. And the buck as well.
Loading new mag. Sequential breaching activated.
Well, actually, I say that, but it does look like they are posturing for the map clear, so...
Also out of that round, finally, Freelo Caken able to get out of that donut. Razor, of course, was really, really solid a couple of days ago. He gets firing, and then they switch over to defense. That momentum could be carried over into the second half. So a big round here. Man LFO looking to solidify 5-1 half to give themselves as much of a buffer as possible. They will bunker down again. It's essentially going to be a repeat of what we saw earlier. Fight Dragon and then fall back, play VIP. They give up the drum position early. I like the Capitao though, in terms of being able to flush out certain positions. No shields, no worries. Needs to be the mantra for Dream Warriors. Caken holding the longer angle. There are those bolts to be put into effect. I haven't played off it though.
I mean, yeah, they've been stacked into this position, but Caken able to swing across. I was waiting for where that pressure would come from to capitalize on the utility, and Caken says, well, I'll step up to the mark. And that's now 5 opening kills in a row for Dream Warriors. They will be very eager to convert this.
They have to. Oh, but they don't.
No.
Scars with the double on the push through. And then they lose Caken as well. So from a 5v3... very swiftly becomes a 2v3 and a lot to do for Wizard and Reelers, and Wizard is up against it. A little peek from Scars and Man LFO. Well, that is a dagger into the heart for Dream Warriors. So dominant in the early rounds in this half on Attack Skyscraper, and it all is for nothing. A 5-1 half for Man LFO.
Yeah, they're going to feel very hard done by. 5 opening kills in a row on Skyscraper is a feat, and to only convert 1 of those rounds and 1 in the total of the entire half is so rough. I mean, there's a massive double from Caken, but then to see the response, the 2K immediately after that, has really got to hurt. And so it's a 4-round lead for Man LFO. As we have a look back at the replay package of that prior round, Caken stepped up and said, okay, I'll go get the double here. There was then that 2K in response, and then the rest of the team compounding. Good work there from Scars. Found that playmaking opportunity as Dream Warriors looked to just set themselves for that final push, but not given that opportunity to reset. It's been a pretty enjoyable game. I will say, in terms of the quality of the siege, I feel like it's been rather good, but between the two, nothing standing out as being super egregious, to be completely frank. So makes things interesting in terms of the mid-table discussion going forward. It is only play day 2, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I really do hope we see a world in which that 6th spot is competed for competitively, even if we see it maybe trail off towards the end of the group stage. I'd like to see at least the early portion be quite close between that bottom half of teams.
Am I supposed to be around you? Weakness like that is what gets you killed, recruit.
Well, it's a long way back now, but as we kind of alluded to before, if there's going to be a map in which you can bring a 5-1 deficit back, it is Skyscraper defense. But it just gives Man LFO so many rounds now, pressure-free. Ban's interesting as well, because it's going to leave the Blackbeard up in this first half, and even if it does get banned 3 rounds in, you could play the Blitz. And it's a fallback option if you do want the aggressive shield. I like the Azami and Smoke Ban as well. A map like Skyscraper, just really good lockdown bunker defense. Operators no longer available to Dream Warriors. Realize that is just brutal. Sharky not allowed to enter on that Blackbeard. You lose the shield altogether now in this 7th round. Really good start for Dream Warriors. Another opening kill, guys. So that metric keeps climbing, but they've got to convert.
Yeah, the entry is one thing. The conversion is a whole different story, or at least it has been in this particular game. But on defense, that conversion rate will be significantly higher on paper. Reelers for 2. He's done a really good job over towards this office position, and the rest of the team able to clean up. Well, he opened the round and he closes it. Reelers on the Alla. Really good job locking down this portion of the map. And I mean, I just mentioned earlier how good the quality of Siege has been, in my opinion. That round probably goes down as being one of the worst, but such is life. Opening attacking round on Skyscraper can often be pretty rough, just trying to get into the flow of things. So we'll see if that shifts. Exhibition Office in play next. An opportunity for that map clear to be refined.
You got to get your Blackbeard actually into the building as well.
Yeah.
7 kills now for Reelers. It was the combination with the Grismont mine. A really good usage of the Alla.
Yeah, the shield break.
Yeah, I mean, it's a well-worked round for Dream Warriors. And again, like, Skyscraper, when... Like, they're going to be looking back at this game if they lose it and thinking, geez, we really could have won this. Like, in that first half, you're getting... What did it end up being? Like 5 opening kills in the first half on Attack Skyscraper. They had the plant down in the opening round. You play this again, and it could have easily been a 3-3 half. They had opportunities. I mean, that's not to discredit or take anything away from NLFO. They were able to, you know, from disadvantaged positions, be able to come back and win those rounds. Meaning that the scoreline is, well, reflective, but Dream Warriors probably felt like they could have certainly got more than just one. It would have been a whole different story now. It would only be a 3-4 scoreline. It would be a really even game, but they've still got some work to do, down 2-5. Sharky will, I would imagine, be a little bit more apprehensive on his entries. He's going to go the very long way around. Geisha across on the Office Exhibition site. Already a change up in style between the two teams and how they want to defend this site with the drum shield hold in comparison to Man LFO, who just gave it up completely.
Yeah, they typically went for a bit more of a hard bridge denial / peel option, whereas Real is looking pretty content in contesting. Has the elements to play off, as we mentioned, deployable shield up close. And likely reliant now on Man LFO on some util clearance onto this position. They have a bundle of frag grenades available. Razor needing to do his job over towards Dragon as well, and contesting and supporting Reelers, but he is forced back. So Real is now under the spotlight to perform here. Nice, that's a good opening kill. And a second. Almost a third, but traded.
Bench though, Kaken just got caught on both sides. Good frag from Beers. Are they aware of a Razor's possession? Well, no. Pops up, good kill onto Scars. Maybe expected then one from the window. Playing together, Beers and Hunter over towards Shrine. Really, still has a Nitrocell and this mirror hold as well. I mean, Dream Warriors are really well set up to close this round out.
Yeah, with the BPC, Razor literally just needs to sit here and play off contact. His position is known. Oh, a head taken off. Sharp from Beers. 2 versus 2. Plenty of time for the attack.
Big round. Another close one. Dream Warriors cannot afford to give this one up. They've already lost too many of these said close ones. Nitro from Freelo thrown. Doesn't really gain anything. 20 seconds. Can fall back play time now. Force Men LFO to have to walk into the site and clear out these positions. Love this little cross that they've set up between Freelo and Wizard. Now into red time. Freelo has to watch his back and Beers gets caught in the swing. He goes down. Hunter's already low and he knows he's got no time and has to just send it. Beautiful headshot, but there's one behind him.
No.
Oh no, that's not what you want to see. As soon as he got the headshot kill and walked through the door, I was just like,
well, you alive.
Okay, he's gonna die. And then he's just alive, and he's alive, and I'm like, what's going on? He's in the corner. And as we saw on the death cam, well, Wizard would probably want that moment back again, but luckily he was able to hit the third shot. Third time's lucky.
Imagine Hunter just turns and hits the hip fire shot. Oh my god. Well, Dream Warriors then could breathe a sigh of relief, able to scathe off what would have been 4 match points. And now in a position where if they're able to win the tertiary, they'll trail by 1, and that makes things very intriguing. Highlight package from that prior round. Great start again from Reels. Has been really sharp. That shot there is incredible. Then catches the Blackbeard again for free. And probably should have been rewarded with a third on the swing. I mean, the response from Man Alpha was good. U2 clearance over towards Dragon. A Razor unaccounted for though, and able to then give defense the advantage. Beers though is clearly cognizant of that and able to find the trade, and then Hunter with a valiant attempt. 2 whiffs from Wizard, down to 50 HP after Hunter responded, but able to get that kill, and Dream Warriors hitting the scoreboard once more.
Yeah, 3-5 now. 2 rounds in a row for Dream Warriors.
Hostile tag.
Wizard would not have been able to forgive himself if he had ended up dying after whiffing. He whiffed 2 shots. 2 shots. Hunter didn't know where the shots were coming from. And it took him that long to figure it out. Beers with an opening pick. Well, that's gone against the grain. Out to 9-3 now for Beers.
And well, that's finally an opening kill from NLFO. There was a 7-round streak for Dream Warriors. Finally now broken.
Oh! Tight angle, small pixel gap found from a Razor onto the head of Hunter. And timely as well, down 3-5. And Freelo needed to win that. Freelo's not winning any fights at the moment. 1-6. But a Razor and Cake can combine up above, and they're able to get 3 between them, and leaves just Beers, who's been, well, deep in the chat, but Cake shoots him in the back. It's 4-5, 3 rounds consecutive now for Dream Warriors. And a good reason why, guys, that we weren't overdoing it when Men LFO went 5-1 up, and we had to specify if there is a map, especially in this region, defender-sided, you can get rounds on the board quickly on defense. That 5-1 scoreline, it's not fully indicative as to how the game's going to finish, and I'm kind of glad now we went that way. This game is on. Men LFO need to get an attack round, yet to do so.
Yeah, that lead can evaporate quickly. We'll prepare ourselves to go back to the primary rotation, looking back at the prior round. Just a lot of isolated fights around the map, and so rewarding whoever's sharpest in the round. Unfortunately for Freelo, was an opportunity going astray. A Razor with a massive multi over towards T. And then Beer's limited info, not given an opportunity to clutch up. He had a flash, I think, and a frag grenade, and could have looked to play around that if he had a bit more information, but clearly that was not available. Dreamer is now trailing by just a singular round. This is shaping up to be quite the match. And in fact, probably has the potential to be the closest of the afternoon. Still a decent amount of siege to come to see if that is to be the case, but the owner's now on man LFO to respond back over to Karaoke, and a full pivot in terms of attack repick.
And I think a big factor as well, Kaken and Eraser have really stepped up alongside Reelers. Reelers has been kind of good from the onset, but Kaken and Eraser were a little bit slow to get going on the attacks, but on defense they've been a big factor. None more so in that previous round. Interesting on the Deimos ban as well to leave up both the Blackbeard and the Blitz. Sharky now on the Blitz.
A bomb has been located.
Okay, I wasn't the only one lagging there.
No. 5 drones left as well.
Changing
Make that 4.
No, still 5.
No. Did he miss it?
No, I think he shut it. Oh, good util clearance either way from the attack. Doom Warriors forfeiting control over towards back stairs. And Alpha posturing for a plant Karaoke as they cross. Hunter to lurk below. Looking for any utility. And that smoke now to be laid out.
Hence the Warden ban as well. If you're going to employ a particular strategy to try and abuse the glass here on Skyscraper, preemptive ban on the Warden. Well, Sharky is taken very low, but he'll get the plan down successfully. That's a big moment here for Man LFO. Drop down Eraser, catches out Hunter. I don't think was prepared for that quick drop. Another opening pick for Dream Warriors, but they've got a bigger task at hand now on the retake. They do deal with the Blitz though. Sharky lost his life. Scars is going to go down as well on the glass. Pluto over towards Black Stairs. Has only the Bailiff in hand. And up close though, the Bailiff is strong and catches Eraser. Cake and Reelers are low and Beers is on the rappel. Reelers slips in. Can he just get on it and stick it and do to Beers what Beers did to them? But they've got Pluto down below. Needing to push and take the fight was Kaken, and he does so. The rappel in from Beers. He shuts one down, but then it's going to be Reelers. But is there time? I don't believe so. Wow, big round. The closest round we've had in this match so far. Huge rappel in by Beers, and he clutches up for the second time on that particular site. Both sides, attack and defense.
That's a massive heads-up plays there from Man LFO on the attack, who now called it attack to just chill after that particular attempt. Good util clearance initially, able to get that plant down. And then the fight we saw over towards back stairs to win that out, man. Eraser aggressed here, and it started to trickle apart here a little bit, and I thought this was echoing a very similar result to what we saw previously when we saw that successful retake in the past. But this play was massive. Eraser falls, and the coverage here was okay from Kaken, but the swing in at the end, massive. Real is feeling the need to get off that diffuser, unlikely to be able to stick it, and unfortunately didn't have any time remaining. So a big round, chaotic at the conclusion. Fine margins between these two at the moment, but it is a 2-round advantage for Man LFO and 2 match points at that.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Attackers have located a bomb.
The 2 match points for Man LFO. And that's going to be, I think, the biggest takeaway from this match is, sometimes you win games and it's just comfortable. Yeah, and which is kind of what we had 3 days ago. I would say all 3 of those matches, it was foregone conclusions. This is one where, quite honestly, Dream Warriors could be 6-4 up. You flip a couple of rounds here and there. But it's Man LFO that have taken advantage of those kind of 50-50 rounds. It's been a really close contest. It's been good to watch. Realist gets double digits. Beers gets double digits. Obviously, Freelo has struggled in this game, but he's also the only one that's negative for Dream Warriors. Everyone else is either equal or positive, which is a really good sign for a team that's 4-6 down. Freelo, of course, plays a different role, more of the supportive role. So if we were talking about Enterprise right now, you wouldn't have an issue with his 1-7 if it was Fisher Guy. I just have a feeling this one's not done just yet, though. Sharky goes with the wall bang. A Razor getting caught towards Dragon, taken excruciatingly low. Logic Bomb rings out from Pluto. Pressure on that gadget.
Yeah, and with that, map control conceded, and Man Alpha will be able to snap that up. This defense already boxed into a corner. Dragon forfeited as well, which was a good fallback previously. Scars gets the first. Nobody kills hasn't been the strength of Man Alpha in this game, but perfect opportunity to find one. Man advantage and a Razor low. They're posturing for the match win.
Oh, Hunter close. Razor wasn't ready for it. Hunter almost got the second onto Wizard, and he falls by the hands of Scars. Well, this close contest, as much as it was, is going to come to an end in a very dominant fashion. Flawless to close it out from Man LFO. A 7-4 victory. A scoreline that you can't argue with too much, Guz, but Dream Warriors will feel like it was closer than 7-4. Man LFO will feel like they were just better in the clutch moments, in the 50-50 moments. That's the story of this one.
Yeah, no, I would totally agree. Dream Warriors certainly had good moments, but in the clutch, in the match-defining moments, Man LFO were able to find that very narrow edge. They walk away with the victory. Plenty of more siege on the other side of this break.
See that right there? I feel like you need to get around that.
It's a bit of an upgrade.
Hey, what's going on everybody? For APL Stage 2, I'm Dev Marta and you're watching Shot Ones, the show where we eat hot wings and ask even hotter questions. Today, I'm joined by Enterprise Esports player Bappin, hot off the plane from EWC, 10 tournaments under his belt. Welcome. But the real question is, how are you with spicy food?
Shit.
Well, I'm sorry, but you got your work cut out for you today. We got 3 different levels of spicy wings. Why don't you dig into the one on your left? This is going to be hard to ask you the question I'm digging in. Go for it. All right. All right, Bappin. You first came into the scene with Barbie Boys over 2 years ago now. What was the experience like, and how did it shape the player that you've become? I don't think it's that spicy. It's really not that spicy. I'm going to go for another one.
It just tastes like shit.
2 years ago, Barbie Boys, how did that shape how you become?
I think Cairo got dropped or something. Him and Prez went into rebuild just before the stage. And I was playing ranked, like 24/7. I was grinding and they reached out to me. I think I played in like a shit team with Cake once. So they saw me from there, so they asked me to play with Saved. It was.
So how did that experience affect how you've become today?
That experience did nothing. I didn't learn anything from President. No. I think Cairo was good. Cairo was good to team with, yeah. But once I got off, that 2-year journey with President, I instantly skyrocketed with someone else. So.
What do you think of the wing? You haven't eaten very much.
Yeah, they're really good.
Are you afraid to eat the spicy bit? Because it's actually.
Just eat the whole thing.
I mean, ideally, at least eat some more of the spicy bit. I tell you what, I didn't have lunch today, so this is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I just ate Nando's.
You know how they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
Into the level 1v1, the close end for the ball, win, saves and what is going on?
Easy, easy, teammate.
Jesus. Nice. All right, listen. There's a few guys left. I'm going to entry. You're with me. I need you to stay on cams and support us if we need.
Got it.
All right, with me. Clear. 3, 2, 1. Cover me. Jack. One on the right. Oh, shit. No, call! Get off your cams. We need help. Fucking Alamo. Take the case. Go on without me.
Shut the fuck up, Jack.
What? Is he okay?
I've been worse. Well, we move out of Skyscraper for what was, in the end, a pretty entertaining game. A match where, you know, it's one of those ones, could have gone either way, but a 7-4 victory, I think, was probably still a pretty solid result for Men LFO. They get themselves their first win of the stage, tying up their points against the team they just beaten, Dream Warriors. As we move forward to Enterprise and Ludvica, which really should be match of the day, but it's going to be kind of hard to top that first one. It was a pretty good one. And admittedly, again, Enterprise being such a solid team in this region, and there's a reason why all the talent have selected them as to win this matchup. Ludvica, at their best, I think can compete with them, and we saw that a little bit back in stage 1. There was a map that went 8-6, so they can have close results, but all the other ones, guys, Enterprise dominated Ludvica.
Yeah, definitely the case. EP off the back of EWC looking to keep that good form running. They obviously have their sights set on Munich and SI following that, and Ludvica still playing catch up. I'm still a little bit up in the air as to what the potential skill ceiling of Ludvica is, and hopefully we get a bit more of an insight of that across the stage. As you mentioned, they have looked competitive in some maps in isolation, but only very few. So it puts into question how they'll go today. EP still go in as pretty firm favourites, but not anticipating this to be probably as one-sided as their match last week against Man LFO, that 7-3 on cons, where they looked rock solid, especially defensively. Whatever got thrown at them, they were able to contest.
As for Ludvica, their first appearance, of course, for the stage, hence no stats, and good to see these guys in because they're a really, really fun team. I think at their best, you know, they made a grand final for a reason. You could still consider them maybe the second best team in the region because of that, but with the Chiefs additions, there's a contest on that spot now. So Ludvica will need to be, you know, contestable against a team like Enterprise if they're going to have aspirations such as Munich. Now, of course, the way the format's going to work, there may actually be a way in which you could get two teams from OCE to the major, all dependent on the major qualifier LAN, and that's the main thing. Just get to the major qualifier LAN, and there is a guaranteed 2 spots from this region for it. There's 3 top teams, though. Someone's going to have to miss out, and Ludvica need to make sure it's not them. Which, if that is the case, and Ludvica can acquire one of those spots, it means one of Chiefs or Enterprise would miss out. So, you know, it's going to be quite a bloodbath once we get to playoffs in terms of who actually can get those spots. It's going to be very intriguing. But for Ludvica, they need more growth, right? If they were to stagnate and kind of stay at that stage 1 level, I would probably put them as that 3rd team and to then miss out. But if they can continue to find good growth out of the likes of Lunchbox, you know, Moloska has another stage under his belt after some time away. I think they've got really good potential, so we'll see if they can, you know, get improvement. And a win today would highlight that.
A win today would set the tone. Again, it's only group stage, but it would still make that storyline heading into playoffs and then subsequently the major LAN if they were able to qualify for that. Very, very intriguing. I mean, it's a very positive sign that this team has stuck together. I think there was a concern for me during the offseason that maybe they would break apart or we'd see maybe a change here or there. I like the fact that they're going to stick with this core, try to refine it. I think, as you've kind of prefaced, that there's some real quality on this team. A lot of experience. Milo at the head played well stage 1. He has young gunners around him. Physics can fill that support role really nicely. They've got a very similar structure to a lot of the other top teams in the region with that, you know, real dedicated support. They have experience on the team. They have gunners that can run around and find kills and find openings, etc. So very intrigued to see how they play today comparatively to what we saw in stage 1, and then how that develops over the course of the next month or so. Do I think that they're a serious threat in OCE? Most definitely. But we need to see improvement if they are to be a serious contender to make it to Munich. As you mentioned, there is a possibility that we get 2 teams from OCE at the major given the new qualification format, and so I think they'll be really honing in on that as a potential for them. Map veto plays out. It's actually Lair. So back in the first game of the day,
wow,
we had Skyscraper, which was equal with Lair as the least played in OCE. I'm very intrigued that we're going to see both maps played so early on in this best of 1 portion of the league.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Lair was on my bucket list for this matchup. As you mentioned before, it was the least played map back in stage 1, and that was inclusive of group stage and playoffs. It was only played 2 times, although that actually matched Skyscraper, funnily enough, too, which is a map I feel like you see quite often. So you kind of look at the maps that were played between Enterprise, Ludvica in the playoffs. They played 4 times, being the upper bracket semi-final and the grand final itself. It was Bang, Chalet, Clubhouse, Border. So they'll add in Lair, and this now being the 3rd time they've played in recent months. It's 5 different maps. Like, that's actually quite intriguing to see, because you've got 2 teams that you probably don't want to show too much of your map pool. I was maybe expecting group stage this to be like a Clubhouse or something. Keep it pretty simple. Try not to show too much away. And that's actually what ended up happening in stage 1, is they did play on Clubhouse. Kept it rather simple, kept that away. Clubhouse then came back out in the grand final where EP won that 7-2. And the grand final itself was, you know, rather one-sided. Border got a bit contested and Ludvica started well. But in the end, 7-2, 7-5, and then you go back to the semi-final. The map before that was Chalet 7-0. It wasn't until you go all the way back to Bank 8-6 in that upper bracket semi-final where it was close, 7-5 in club in the group stage. So as I prefaced before, it's a toss of the coin between it being really close or EP win one-sided, which is not good news for Ludvica, because there's no history to suggest they're going to be able to win this in a convincing fashion. It's more likely for it to be the side of Enterprise. So Ludvica will be certainly battling in this matchup, but hopefully it'll be more of the closer aspect to what we've seen between these 2 teams previously than the one-sided nature than to what we've seen previously.
Well, we had word earlier that there were some classic day 1 Moss issues for Ludvica, but it seems like those are being resolved, and so we're able to jump into left their opening match of the stage, and a grand final rematch between 2 teams eyeing off a spot at the major in November. Neither team will be playing at 110% for this particular matchup, especially Ludvica, who are looking to warm up into the stage in their opening matchup, but I think it will still be a bit of a tone setter to see where these 2 teams are at and how much room for growth that they may potentially have over the next few weeks. Band phase 2 play out. Enterprise, of course, starting defensively. We'll see Kai and Mirror alongside the Ying and Blitz taken out. Second forward to be the first side of choice. Band's not standing out as being too left of field. We're not going to see the more forceful combinations of like the Kite and Bandit, for instance, or double shield. So it's a little bit more mixed in that regard to what we maybe see more commonly these days, but that does open a few more playmaking opportunities for both sides.
There is the other kind of aspect in all of this as well. It's the first game for Ludvica. Enterprise having played an official a couple of days ago, and you know, a kind of decent warm up against the Man LFO team that just won today and has some real quality. Ludvica are going to get kind of thrown into the wolves here against an Enterprise team. They have to attack into lair. So, I mean, like, this is why you don't put too much stock into group stage results. There's a lot more caveats around these kind of matches. By the time you get to playoffs, these guys are really warmed up, and it's become second nature, the contest and strategies employed and the follow-ups. And I know that may be a cop-out because these guys play quite a lot. And naturally, you do need to de-stress and take breaks and not go at 100% during the off-season. Ludvica, I'm sure, will have done their warm-ups and scrims and preparations coming into Stage 2, but officials are different. Enterprise being the best team in the region as well is, you know, you need to be switched on. They can't come into this thinking, all right, you know, first play day for us, little warm into the season. They're going to have to be ready to go from the onset. 4 drones, make it 3 drones left. 2 minutes on the clock on a map like Lair. This is a good start for Enterprise in dealing with the drone economy.
So Box will lurk as well down below. Deimos, that will be something to consider towards the latter portion of the round, especially if they're looking to clear some of these key positions in towards Master. Relays under the pump a little bit here as well, playing Mez. Needs to be mindful of the pinch that could eventuate towards Lobby, and Box considers draining that, but clearing below again to enable him on the Deimos with those death marks. And the potential for that to flush out players vertically. Silence falling across the map currently. Final U2 clearance from the attack. They have limited routes available. Minute to go. The Goyo canisters being dealt with pretty well here by the attack. It's now just a case of being able to convert some of this position. Cairo, the Blackbeard, now looking to force his way forward. Relays almost gets caught, but turns. Wow, he should not be getting out of that one alive.
No. You could see the rush through from Cairo into the smoke to clear out and get that pinch onto the mezzanine, get that free kill, then have the numbers advantage going into sight. Not only do you not get the kill, but then you lose a player as well. Relays with the Nitro onto Box. This round really should be done. You need numbers. And Karma just gets tapped, and a GN from Tuhan in the chat. They added salt into the wound, and Enterprise are on the verge now of a flawless start here on Lair. Moloska by himself. And it's a bit of both. I mean, the pinch from Ludvica is the right strategy. Relays over towards Mez, holding the stairs. You bring Cairo in from the other side, and the Blackbeard rush through, catch him from behind. But the fact that he was so switched on, credit to Relays, got back into the hallway, got some help from Cairo. Cairo then expecting to swing through the doorway, gets the free kill. But Relays cannot be allowed to get out of that position when you're going for that kind of execute pinch. And it cost them the round in the end. We're going to see a replay of it here. So it was player, not Cairo. Cairo's the one who died. And then that's when it all just kind of fell apart.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Basement to go then. Scopers in play for round number 2. So Relays expected to roam and waste time. Ludvica will be a little bit disappointed in how their clearance went in that prior round. Utility-wise, it was actually quite clean. They cleared a lot of that stall out, but then the call from Cairo to go deep, try and pinch out top lobby stairs, that kind of fell apart a little bit. It felt like there was a bit of a disconnect there in terms of looking to isolate Relays, and Well, he punished correctly and then had the follow-up nitro as well. So that was good work. Jackal in play alongside Deimos, so information gathering here from Ludvica very much available and indicative that they will go for that room clear, and then in combination with the Ram can get to work on the vert.
So aggressive from Relays. The fact he gets that kill onto Physics, deals with the Deimos early, job done from the Scopos. The beauty of the Scopos is you don't really bring a lot of utility. Your survivability, being able to transfer back is one thing, and really your goal is to force them into the roam clear and then transfer away. But if you can find a kill onto a target like the Deimos, get Molosca really low as well, that is job done. Even though it's a 4v4, that is a slice advantage now for Enterprise. Fortunately for Molosca playing the Jackal, so at least he can be a bit safer as he's moving through now low on health.
Yeah, but defense probably looking to consolidate. Yeah, Fish peels. Big emphasis now on box on the vert with that final ram and what kind of value they can extract from that. Jackal ping on site.
Yeah, but the Jackal by himself is not as strong as he used to be. That's why they brought the Deimos Jackal combo to try and push them back to site. But now just the Jackal by itself, it doesn't have that much of an impact. Sure, you get a little bit of a footprint scan down below, and then what? What do you do with it?
It's going to be tricky as well now to deal with the Goyo util. No Twitch on the board, for instance. Just the singular frag grenade remaining for Karma. And so if Enterprise lean into that util correctly, they should be able to stall out this push.
And Karma goes down. Tuhans feeling it early. Ludvica just not getting themselves into positions in these rounds where they can execute. Certainly in this one now, it's just all separated. Still 3 gas waves available for Fisher Guy. He can time out the rest of this round in certain areas. Flash from box, the jump. Tagged up a little bit. Bulletproof camera dealt with up close. Wasn't expecting to harm. Molosca by himself. The man who's been so low on health for a while will be the last one to die. In the end, Ludvica's attack squashed comfortably. All started with relays up above, set the tone. Enterprise were able to then fall back, play sight, and Ludvica could just not really do anything about it.
Yeah, it's all just feeling a little bit disconnected from Luda at the moment. They sense
Looks
that
like it's their first game of the
tactical.
league for a reason.
Yeah. It very much has the warm-up vibe to it. And I mean, it's rough fixturing for them, right? Their first game of the stage against the, by far and away, best team in the region. But in some respects might give them a bit of a wake-up call and temper their expectations and reset them heading into the rest of the stage, and they can kind of understand where they're at. Just getting ravaged across the map in all departments really at the moment. The roam clearance successful, even with the Deimos and the Jackal combination. They're unable to really extract a ton of value from the vert on the ram. The late Jackal scans as well, as you kind of alluded to, not much they could really do to play around that. Then because of the composition that they had, the stall-out utility was bolstered. And so, yeah, they were kind of left with very few win cons there at the end.
Well, the good news for Ludvica is they don't play Chiefs until the second last play day.
Yeah.
Which then, by that point, they're more warmed up. That game's going to have big ramifications. You can, both of those two teams can lose to Enterprise, and if Enterprise just go flawless, finish top seed, then it's that battle for the second seed to avoid EP for a little bit longer. But with the shape of the way the format's going to work out anyway in terms of seeding, like you're going to have to play them at some point, and there's double elimination. So at the end of the day, it's really just a good way to kind of test yourself and where you're at against these top teams. Of course, the way that playoffs is going to work, if you win that upper bracket final, you are going to the major qualifier land. It's a strange one. The grand final will be for SI points and money, so it will still have, you know, a big factor with the way the SI points work this stage. You know, 300 for first, 150 for second, and then only 50 for third. There's still every incentive to make the grand final, not just for those points, but the qualifier lane, but to win it as well. But losing that lower bracket final is going to be monstrous. Like, if you lose that lower bracket final in the playoffs, not only do you miss out on the major qual and the major itself, but you also only walk away with 50 SI points, and your campaign is almost just down to SILCQs or regional finals. But you probably can't even make regional finals at that point. So it's going to be a fascinating playoffs. Enterprise 2-0 up. Ludvica, as you kind of mentioned, looks like they're warming up. Took the tactical timeout. Might try and bring a bit more pace here. An early adrenal surge from Molosco, and the push down from Karma catches out the head of Relays. That's better aggression from Ludvica early in the round, and it pays dividends.
Yeah, Relays caught on his heels, doesn't hear that push forward, perhaps a little bit distracted down below, looking to contest. Play responds though. Glass on the floor, that weakens the execute, and Karma also falling, so flank watch compromised. Just when it started to feel good for Ludvica, it begins to unravel. 3 versus 4. Make it 2 versus 4. Play with the triple, continuing his good form from stage 1.
It's a little bit like Dream Warriors from the previous game, guys, where a good start to the round and then a collapse. Find the opening pick and then a collapse. Ludvica are going to find themselves 3-0 down if Molosco and Physics can't pull off a miracle. And maybe against lesser teams it would be possible, but Enterprise are sharp. 60 seconds to try and work their way through this. Molosco's hoping that they might kind of run at him a little bit, but again, the top team's very disciplined. Not going to give you anything. No reason to throw lives away. You're a guy holding the angle, so you have to clear this, and if you do, well, the shotgun up close is probably going to beat you out. He swings it anyway. So a 3-0 start for Enterprise in the grand final rematch. Well, they certainly look warmed up. Fisher guy looks like he wants the own individual accolades, because he went 2-10 a couple of days ago, which again, for Fish, that's more than fine. He doesn't need to find the kills, but I think he wants to rectify that a little bit. He's looking really sharp here on lair as we head into the bands.
Yeah, Ludvica will be disappointed off the back of the tactical, unable to convert, and not even getting into a position where they were able to get the execute, even attempted. They find the opening kill, but then in response they lose the glass, and then shortly after that, the gridlock. So having to fight from behind. It was a good play here to open up proceedings, but then it kind of fell apart elsewhere in the meantime. Player with 3 kills in the round, looking really, really sharp. Played around that zombie utility rail. Fisher expended his smokes and then was able to find a couple of kills for himself with the shotgun. It's a 3-0 lead, a clean start on the initial rotation. Additional bans for the remainder of this half. The smoke, so directly in counterplay to Fisher, who jumps over to the Chichenka for that area denial and crowd control, and then Blackbeard alongside the Blitz in terms of the shield bans for these next few rounds.
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds to insertion.
Ox, Cairo, Physics yet to get on the board. Only one for Molosco and Karma. It's been a rough start. We're soundly beaten so far. Hey, it was the other one who only picked up the 5 kills in their win against Man LFO a few days ago. He's up to 4-0. I recall saying, and I've probably said a couple of times now with this Enterprise roster, they've just got so many weapons that if a player has a cold night in Playday 1, you're probably expecting him to be the one to frag out Playday 2. They kind of swap and take turns, but right now they're all firing. And that's the strength of this Enterprise roster is, yeah, you could have one player could have a bad night, but when all 5 are having a good night, they're the best team in the region. Every metric. That's going to be the task for teams like Ludvica and Chiefs to try and bridge that gap. Cairo taking a bridge. We'll be stuck at the bridge.
I mean, yeah, probably should note that Night Haven Labs now with the destructible ingredients that can help stall out some of these pushes a little while longer. That's a new addition for stage 2. Fisher flames of his own, able to stall out the push over towards our 6 side. That's Tuhan finds another, and with that, another GN in the chat. Seemingly has Karma's number so far today. Just the 1 kill for Karma so far. That was the lurk pick onto Relays in the prior round. Outside of that, little impact.
4 players that haven't died in 3 rounds. Relays has died to Karma and Molosca. This is a crazy beatdown. Cairo is just unable to progress forward because of the Shamika launcher. Well, there is another kill for Molosca, and the first death for Bappin keeps this round alive.
Box now with Roteros. Might be able to clear this deployable shield. Decides to prio, I believe, the BPC at Mez 90. That may free him up for a lurk. While they're still trying to desperately find another from below as Cairo takes a chunk of damage. Relays low as well. HP critical for several players inside of the server as we enter the final 15 seconds.
1 charge left in the Shamika launcher from Fisher. Now he's out. Red time though. Cairo and Molosca both very low. Tuhan does go down a Fisher guy and play it to close out this round. Trying to make the mad dash was Physics to get the plant down. Got shut down. Fisher guy is a menace on defense. He's locked in and locking down the site. That Tachanka was a nuisance for Ludvica. They could not push past, and a big counter to the Montang. There was nothing Cairo could do.
It's a bit of a beatdown at the moment. And it may mean that our call earlier, that match number 1 of the day, which was really close and competitive, probably will remain as the best game of the day. Unless Ludvica can bite back here, they need to find at least 1 to, of course, be competitive. 2 probably ideal here, in my opinion. They're trying to find a couple more ideas and a couple of different avenues to find picks as the match has continued, but Enterprise were too good of a read. Some of the key parts of the round for Ludvica and some of the key playmakers and operators just aren't being enabled, which is making life really, really challenging for them.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Round 5, Rayora in play, so perhaps something more direct in combination with the Lion. Molosca jumps over to the Twitch to counter Goyo. So they stray away from the Jackal Deimos that we saw prior, which was to help with the roam clear. They've kind of given up on that idea. I think they'll head to something a little bit more direct, maybe straight from Warehouse. We'll see how Relays then responds on the scope post. That being said, there is still some vert potential, so Box may play a little more solo. The rest of the team can work elsewhere, maybe try to force the peel so that that top floor, well, his first floor rather, is vacated for Box.
Opening pick for Cairo, but need that follow-up, and they get it through Physics. Fisher finally shut down his first death of the game. Appen trying to get aggressive, but the flash will land. Forces him back, and he gets forced into a tough spot, and Box finds the pick. So the aggression works early in the round for Ludvica. Enterprise will probably kick themselves a little bit, thinking they may be over-aggressed here. On a basement site, they've gone for the early entry denials. 3 players up that go down. Tuhan then gets shot in the back, and it's an all too easy round for Ludvica. I just wonder if they overcommitted, because last time out it was mainly relays that was the kind of up above threat. He got 1.5, and strangely enough, the Scopos is the last one to die. Flawless for Ludvica against the run of play. That just seemingly comes out of nowhere, but Enterprise will feel like they kind of gave that to them.
Look back at the replay package, a 5v3. On this occasion, the clear above was cleaner, and Relays on Scopos never given really much of an opportunity to get himself into the round. And so with that, Ludvica finally hit the scoreboard. They now have the tertiary to find the second.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Good test of the mental in this matchup and remaining resilient. The early stages of this last attack here on Bunks was promising as well with their initial top floor control, but then it very quickly fell apart as they look to transition more to the horizontal in preparation for the execute. So we'll see if that's something that they can clean up on this occasion. Maybe we see a bit more of a consolidation on the top floor this time around, and vert out in preparation for the execute. It looks like they'll lean heavily into the glass again, but it's important that Box, of course, critically stays alive for that final push to extract value. We have seen some teams on occasion go for that sort of sense drop play for the plant with the rush across in towards A. Ludvica electing not to lean into that in this particular matchup.
If they can get this to 2-4 and then switch to defense, it might make this game a little bit more interesting. EP will go back to their more structured setup defense, which is a lot harder for Ludvica to break down. And even harder to the fact they have 2 drones remaining at the 2-minute and 20-second mark. A lack of information now for Ludvica in this round. Only had the 2 smokes available on the glass for the glass in box. You won't get any extra help. And into the Warden as well, may not be as effective. Tuhan over towards storage. Thomas just going to slip in towards the Baz, deal with this Kiva barrier. I'm reloading! 1 drone, all that remains.
Smoke grenade out.
So Box then investing this smoke utility up above to try and fight his way forward, but that's directly into the path of Tuhan, and with his glasses we'll be able to see straight through the first and then second smoke already. That's a big investment.
And taken low. Bappen will find the opening pick onto Molosca. No more smokes available for that glass. Oh, up close. Tuhan prone. I mean, that's just really good game sense from Tuhan, because if Box is pushing from one side, he knows there's going to be one pushing in from the left side. Enterprise just had the read. Tuhan had the read. And Ludvica, well, they squander an opportunity to go to 2-4 margin, switch halves. Now it's a 5-1 deficit. And Enterprise have got the firepower on the attack side to close this out quickly, you would imagine.
Yeah, they've been read like a book in this particular map. I mean, it was a bit of a tough veto, I think, for Ludvica to play into. They probably didn't want to go back to Consulate based on what they saw last week from EP. And so they took a bit of a calculated risk here on Lair, but yeah, maybe one that they need to go back and refine a little bit more. And I mean, that's the beauty of this format, really, is Luda aren't going to be worried at all at the loss here. They'll probably be more so just reflecting on the way in which it played out, and they can look to clean that up for any future appearances of the map and a potential matchup against EP later on as well. We switch sides, and so a fresh set of bands, A splits, and then Kaid and Bandit top floor as expected to be the first site of choice.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Activating jammer. Initiating jammer. Reinforcing wall.
Tuhan and player 13 and 2 in the combined statistics. And it's Relays that's had the quieter night today, considering he got one of his 2 kills pretty early on in this piece. I mean, there's only so many kills that can go around. Not everyone can drop 10 each. Ox and Molosca have battled hard, but had little support. You go defense now, though.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb. Reload.
Somewhat like maybe the opening match of today, where you go defender sided, you can start to bring the game back. But also like the first match of the day, when you're kind of around this sort of 5-1 half scoreline, it's a long way back and little room, basically no room for error. Need to string a couple of rounds here consecutively, maybe bring it back to 4v5, and even then you're still behind. Blitzban, Aceban, and along with the electrification of the Kaid and the Bandit, Relays will get his Deimos in this opening half. If Ludvica do lose this, though, the one thing they can't do is overreact. It's their first game of the stage, group stage, against the best team who got to play a couple of days ago and got a good warm-up. Melee is putting pressure from below. Ooh.
Yeah, good contest there from Relays, just able to open up that route for hard breach. Elsewhere, Fish, diffuser in hand, mind you. Considering the push lobby and soaking up some of that smoke util from Cairo. Intriguing investment here from AP with the diffuser on this particular position. I wonder if the end game's over towards R6 to push with help from player.
Great information of the bees.
Yeah.
Oh, he pushes into the smoke.
Oh,
Fisher guy goes super aggressive. Well, that's not something you see all that often from Fish and from Enterprise. Forced the aggression, met head on by Ludvica, and it's flawless by Ludvica.
Good question.
I mean, yeah, what are you doing? That's
a crazy all-in. That is an insane all-in, like, especially in the context of the game state and also being Fish. Like, when do we ever see that kind of play?
No,
from AP?
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. It was just so unexpected. Like, I couldn't believe he pushed into that smoke. That was insane.
I think it just, for me, comes down to the trying to time the smoke. You don't want to push as the smoke completely evaporates. If you push in last second, not only are you not expecting... Oh, don't tell me it's bapping again. Bro, it's... You stop... go fix your computer and stop rehosting these games. It's clearly you. It's literally him. It's his graphics.
I really hope he reinstalls his drivers before today.
Anyway, well, we're going to be, I imagine, heading off to a break very shortly here while we get this rehost, and happens killing them. Hell, anyway, we're going to go to a break as we get this rehost sorted.
know how they say it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's about to kick some serious ass? Remember, I'll be watching. Now you see me, now you don't.
Get ready! I'm taking them out!
Changing mags. I got this. Got my eyes on you. Located enemy.
It's another 1v1, the close end for the ball, win, saves and
As I was saying, we have to look at what's ahead of us now and not worry too much about
Wait,
the
did you
past.
see that?
What?
Wait, what is this doing here?
Whoa, what the hell is going on?
Guys, we need to go.
Jess, what are you doing here?
We need to go now.
Jess, Doc is gone, we have to go back.
There's no time. There's really no time.
Can't take this anymore. I'm tired.
He's our head coach. I have to go save him.
You're already dead. There's no escaping now.
teammate.
Jesus. Nice. All right, listen. There's a few guys left. I'm going to entry. You're with me. I need you to stay on cams and support us if we need.
Got it.
All right, with me. Clear. 3, 2, 1. Cover me. Jack. One on the right. Oh, shit. No, Carl! Get off your cams. We need help. Fucking Alamo. Take the case. Go on without me.
Shut the fuck up, Jack.
What? Is he okay?
I've been worse.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's about to kick some serious ass? Remember, I'll be watching. Now you see me, now you don't.
Get ready! I'm taking them out!
Changing mags. I got these. Got my eyes on you. Located enemy.
It's another 1v1, the close end for the ball, win, saves and
What is going on?
as I was saying, we have to look at what's ahead of us now and not worry too much about
Wait,
the
did you
past.
see that?
What?
Wait, what is this doing here?
Whoa, what the hell is going on?
Guys, we need to go.
Jess, what are you doing here?
We need to go now.
Jess, Doc is gone, we have to go back.
There's no time. There's really no time.
Can't take this anymore. I'm tired.
He's our head coach. I have to go save him.
You're already dead.
There's no escaping now.
You know how they say it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
Ludvica, and hopefully no more delays to follow suit. 5-2 lead for Enterprise, easily been the better of the two teams and have had a large control over this game for the most part. Prior to the rehost, though, it was a very resounding, flawless win for Ludvica on their first defensive round. We'll see if they can follow that form out of the... I think ended up being like 2 or 3 rehosts to get us back underway.
Yeah, been a bit of a prolonged pause, and hopefully it doesn't put too much of a dent in the momentum of this particular matchup at the moment. 2-5 scoreline. EP is still in a commanding position, but Ludvica defending on there. Anything is certainly possible.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
In terms of a bit of a recap on the timeline, it was a 5-1-1 in favor of EP. Ludvica able to successfully defend Master. Kari got the opening kill. At the midpoint of the round, we saw Fisher try to stack it in through lobby stairs, and it fell apart in a matter of moments. EP trying to brute force a push last time out. Here for round number 8, though. Expecting it to probably be a little bit more tempered. Horizontal may be the play. Big emphasis warehouse site currently. No vert operator selected either. So we'll see how they look to break this defense down. Not too much of a roam being employed here from Ludvica. It is just Karma up on first floor.
Box with the opening pick onto Fisho. That's the Blackbeard. That's a nice early kill from the young gunner. There's always that hesitation coming out of the rehost, whether or not a team that performed well previously was going to be able to follow that up. But so far, good signs. But Physics does lose his life to player. Oh, Box! Talk about a quick peek headshot. Does get shut down by relays. 3v3 and back and forth so far between these two teams. Miloska in some trouble. Kari taking very low stars, 3 gas babes, but maybe doesn't have the opportunity to get those out right now. Under a lot of pressure. Relays had the longer angle. Not much Kari could do with the SMG-11 from that position. Well, in the 1v2 now after getting at least one. Almost got another one just then onto Tuhan, and I feel like Miloska might have felt like he maybe got the down or at least did enough damage, but he actually ended up missing those shots due to the quick crouch. And Enterprise, out of the rehosts, goes 6-2 up.
Yeah, Ludvica probably should have converted that round. It was a nice couple of picks from Box. Got the opening kill as one of those kills, and that's only the second round now in this match where the opening kill has not been converted. Kyra was unable to have impact. Still had 3 gas babes, but the SMG not great. That medium to long range engagement that he took. Milo tried his best in the 1 versus 3. Probably felt a little bit hard done by not to get the second, and then the final player was isolated by the Goyo Flames, but didn't quite win out that fight. It's now 4 match points for AP as we head over to bunks.
And unfortunately, it's shaping out to be another one-sided affair between these two teams. We know Ludvica can push Enterprise closely. Maybe it's map dependent. History will now suggest that Enterprise certainly have the number of Ludvica. In stage 1, stage 2, Ludvica have not been able to beat Enterprise. But they've had a couple of close games. But it's more learning for Ludvica. Enterprise previously going over to EWC, getting even more experience after a really solid stage 1. Ludvica have just got to take their learnings. Player on the sends. So the 0 in action as well. With Tuhan. Box has been lively, Box has been good. 2 drones, all that remains as well. The economy here on Lair for both teams has been a struggle.
Yeah, there'll be heavy emphasis now on Fish to be able to scout info on the Blackbeard, and then Tuhan as well with those 5 cams available on 0 with the Argus launcher. That too will be it's up as well for flank watch. Doesn't necessarily just have to be for scouting ahead. So they have this pocket of the map cordoned off, but Luda investing heavily above. It's a 4-1 split. Box is the only player on the objective. EP, with that sense in play, will be looking to dash across in towards that plant position, right side of where Box is positioned currently. Player in position to deploy that utility once the breach is open.
Sawyer Gate dealt with. Nitro ripped by Box. Frag grenade and flash. Nitro does get Fisher Guy low. Box knows that he's getting pinched. Needs a bit of help from others. This is a big battle. If Box can just continue to just hold his position, stay alive, it'll do a world of good for Ludvica, who've still got decent control. Top floor. Frag grenade. Beautifully placed by player. Really good nade. Might just set up this attack now with the ROUs that can get thrown out by player. Facilitate a safer entry for Fisher Guy on the Blackbeard. Good angle for Karma. But yeah, the shield screens. And well, a shot did land on to Fisher Guy. Now the pressure to come from Enterprise to clear out this top floor. It's a systematic attack. Beautifully executed by Enterprise. Followed the plan to a T. Nothing that Ludvica could do about it. And delays really only delayed the inevitable. As Enterprise are going to win 7-2 against Ludvica.
Yeah, just really good defaults played in this match by EP. I think they'll be pretty pleased with the result. Ludvica, especially here on Lair, likely to go back to the drawing board. A matchup that we expected to maybe be a little bit more competitive, but falls short of the mark. EP continuing good form from stage 1.
Well, there's a reason why everyone predicted an Enterprise victory in even still a grand final rematch. They are just head and shoulders above the rest currently in this region. 7-2. An incredibly dominant performance from Enterprise. And that's 2 wins from 2 play days in their quest for glory once again here in Stage 2. They've started this stage off perfectly as Enterprise far too good for Ludvica.
You know how they say it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
溶けてく夜明けにこれが最後の願いね Let's go! 네온の絡む肌踊る影揺れるステップ流されるままにはにかむ横顔に遠くで響く鼓動探すほど見失い溶けてく夜明けにこれが最後の願いね嘘でもいいからみんなないものね
So we head into our final game for OCE, and which is Chiefs versus Outlast. It's not our final game for the day, though, technically, guys. It's the Super Sunday here for APL. Of course, after OCE, you've still got APAC North and Asia to come through as well throughout the day. So plenty of siege for the remainder of the day. But in terms of OCE, our last game, which is probably going to be one-sided, let's be honest. Chiefs should be too good for Outlast, but that's a key word, should. And this is where I think last stage with the previous Chiefs iteration, they might have, scrapped and struggled a little bit, but I think adding in Brendo and Sage just brings calm heads. Brendo's such a top gunner, and boy, did he perform a couple of days ago for Chiefs. 13 and 4 in his return to playing alongside the likes of Jigsaw and Oda. And his brother, for that matter, as well, with Sage having a little bit of time out of the game, but good to see him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Chiefs seemingly sliding into roles quite nicely. It's often a big talking point, especially in this region with a limited player pool, as to how you can actually get 5 players to combine and work together inside of the server. We saw a really good demonstration of that on Clubhouse, a map which really does highlight particular roles given the structural nature of the map, and walking away with a pretty easy 7-3 in the end was good for them. They had players firing, even Oda as well was able to get into the action as well. 9-4 for him, a player who back in stage 1 found it a little bit more challenging to find kills and find impact. And then Jigsaw as well, another key talking point in stage 1 where they were probably too reliant, Chiefs, on him to do well. He walks away with the 7-7, had a bit of impact on entry as well. Just a well-rounded performance from Chiefs, who'll be looking to carry that into form today against an Outlast roster that unfortunately didn't really come out firing. Palarazi had a pretty good standout matchup, found double digits, but the rest of the team unable to really follow up.
Yeah, Good old Palarazi, then Pala, now Pal. You're right. They struggled to fire off last week, which was, I mean, I guess a concern considering their opponent. You know, it's one thing if you struggle against an EP, a Ludvica, or a Chiefs, but to get 7-2'd by Dream Warriors, you know, a team that you're probably looking at and saying if we can beat them, they might be in, you know, contention for that 7th spot. You lose that game, and now suddenly your stage looks a little bit more dire. Puts emphasis on, you know, trying to get points here against Chiefs. We head to bank for this one. Outlast will be attacking first up. I'm not going to write them off completely though when you've got a player like Goof, which again, I think when you kind of look at Goof's career, his best and his worst is you know, probably gap. There's a gap in there where, you know, if you get really good Goof and kill record Goof on the night, they could probably win this game. But if, as we saw last week, 4 and 8, not as much of an impact, losing Jules, then Outlast lose a lot of their firepower.
Yeah, I mean, I think about the likeness between a club and a bank where, dependent on a couple of factors like the bans and the kind of play style, especially that Chiefs are going to try and dictate in this matchup, having a single player standout is really, really challenging on this particular map. So I'd be quite shocked if that eventuates here on bank. There are some circumstances where it's possible, but often it really is a very concentrated team effort on a map like bank, unless you're enabled on the roam, which I don't think is going to be possible against Chiefs, or at least very, very difficult. We're going to have to see an improvement from the team of Outlast and not an over-reliance on any individual.
So we head into bank. Big task now for Outlast going up against Chiefs, who looked rejuvenated, renewed last week. And it looked right as well. Again, it's not a case of come into this and the full expectation is Chiefs just win this 7-1, 7-2. You've got to give Outlast every fighter's chance. And again, I kind of laid out some of their win cons. I mean, Palarazi was excellent in their 7-2 loss. If he continues to perform, you get Goof firing. We know Jake Kenner's probably a hot and cold kind of player as well, and I think that's maybe largely this team. You know, their best is good, really, really good, and they can certainly find ways to upset the top dogs in the region, but their worst is, you know, towards the bottom end. It's just a matter of what kind of Outlast team shows up today. And the other factor as well, Jigsaw a little bit quiet. And maybe that's a factor of having someone like Brendo come back into the roster, and he had a very, very good game. Jigsaw last week started really slow, eventually got himself to 7-7, but, you know, well short of the numbers he was putting up last stage. But despite that, the numbers he was putting up last stage, they weren't necessarily resulting in wins for Chiefs. So I think having a better balance overall is exactly what Chiefs would need to have. And obviously for Jigsaw, he himself would probably be the first one to say, I don't care if I dropped 20 or 5, as long as we win. That's the main motivator. Double shield ban, Blitz and Blackbeard. Maestro and Mirror taken off the board by Chiefs for Outlast. And they're going to go with Jake Kenner on the Glaz to begin. Powell, of course, shield player. Will get himself the Montang for 3 rounds. And I would imagine Nusli then gets banned after 3.
Yeah, the Kali in play for this opening round. Ranged Hard Breach was available for Kanto, but elected not to be used. That's also going to bolster the castle, which is being employed in combination with the Sawyer Gates. Mutual clearance here might be a bit of a challenge. There's going to be a big reliance on those Roteros. And I mean, I'm already a little bit concerned on terms of the composition. Lance Claws may have limited impact as well. We'll have to wait and see what the burn is like, but there is catch employed as well. Wamai is certainly going to be a more prominent pick, I think, going forward, especially with the loadout changes and the shotgun now in play. And a powerful operator naturally on this particular site, where that catch is really, really strong in combination, again, with that Castle Azami. Mute Gem is also employed over towards Jan to help fortify that. Swag deployed. I don't know how impactful that particular one is going to be, however, though, for the attack. Diffuser is in the hands of Palarazi. He's still lurking lobby. Triple repel at least here employed from Outlast, looking to try and find a pair and clear this utility. Unfortunately, though, for them, Jigsaw does find the first. And so that's goofed off the board and no more cap util.
Yeah, and that's the main thing, the capital. Very good in clearing out some of these positions. And then also the smokes as well to aid entry later into the round and to kind of capitalize with Jake Kenner. Rushing from King. Only the one smoke available after this. Propel in towards airlock. Good kill from King though. Clears out Oda. Bit of front desk control now established for Outlast. Takes the battle towards Long. Jigsaw just holds his ground. A lot of time left in this round. This is decent timing now from Outlast. They picked a really good point. They've also got Palarazzi up towards Spiral. Following him behind is Trippin. Don't have to rush this. You've still got time on the board. This is not a last second hit into the round. Jigsaw will lock down long desk position, trying to take this battle. Jigsaw does hit the headshot onto Trippin. That's not an easy shot to hit. Running though was Brendo. Should have been aware of the fact there were still more players outside of front desk. And puts Outlast now in a really good position. Pal has got himself the kit. Sage low. Yeah, easy clear. Sage had to peek for info. Jigsaw though in a 1v2. Main thing now is being able to deny this plant from going down successfully. Palarazzi will look to stick. On the bomb tank makes it difficult for Jigsaw, expecting the backup. He's not sure exactly where Jake Kenner is though. And Outlast will take the opening round.
Yeah, miscomm or a blind spot in information there, and Brendo giving a free pick, retaining control there at the top floor. Oh, pardon me, of the main stairs towards the top. Could have been pretty impactful, especially in supporting Jig, who then had a lot on his plate. Sage couldn't support him. He was locked in Jan, and there was yellow ping info on his position. King did a good job in opening up that round. They kind of had to brute force a little bit. They were getting stalled out, and the util clearance was a little weak, but the sweat coverage there, and then the jump onto Oda was good. Kind of there late, able to lurk and cover that plant. So a little bit sloppy there from Chiefs. Good brute force from Outlast. Basement to follow and the sense in play. So a likely execute play in towards the A site. Good counterplay into the Warden, which has been brought in anticipation of the Glaz. Kaid is available, and so we're going to see that employed, understandably so, for basement. We may see a bit of a peel roam, although I don't know how heavily invested Chiefs will be in that. They may probably stick Jigsaw there and then he can peel for Zoda canisters late. But a decent round from Outlast. I think they'll be pretty pleased with that result. And I like the fact that they're committing to this set play for the second round.
Oh, freebie for Jigsaw though. Ingo's prone. Trying to play the footholds. And Jigsaw has started brightly, but sometimes if Jigsaw's the only one getting the kills, it doesn't always result in success for Chiefs. Jigsaw continues to just go absolutely berserk so far to start Playday 2. He only had the 7 kills in their win in Playday 1, already up to 5, and has all 5 of the kills for Chiefs. More importantly now, 2-player advantage in this second round. And the loss of the Grimbees from Jake Kenner affecting the utility for Outlast in the remainder of this round. They've still got to clear out positions such as blue. These are the rounds Chiefs really can't be losing from here.
Yeah, this should be pretty much all she wrote in this round. Even if Palaraz is able to get in a position to play make with the RUs, they're simply going to be overwhelmed on the objective with manpower. Utility as well, still standing. Double nitro, double gas canister. Likely still Zodo's up as well. Yes, 3 total. Canisters as well from Quiz. And Sage with gun in hand, able to essentially put the nail in the coffin this round. 2v5. Minute to go. Double stack main. And Outlast, unfortunately, with a pretty mild roam clear. Jigsaw able to line them up with the DMR. Essentially no contest off site. Now up to 6 kills. And as you kind of mentioned, 7 kills total in their last outing, which was a 10-round game. And at the conclusion of round number 2, he may well already match that total. And it's certainly not been an instance so far where Chiefs have just been heavily relying on Jigsaw. He's just been gifted kills, essentially. And there is the 7th. So 2 rounds in. A 5th of the rounds played compared to play day 1, and he's already matched that total. And when Jigsaw's dangerous, he can be very difficult to take down.
Tripping with the one-man army
Tripping
comment.
must be listening in. The one-man army call.
Here's the power of what Jigsaw can do. Into a tech pause. Well, I mean, there's kills, and sometimes you can stat pad, but these are impact kills. And to get it to a 5v3 early in the round, the first kill onto King, a bit of a freebie, then the Nitro kill. He's the one that kind of orchestrated the round from start to finish. You know, it's not like it's a 5v2 and he just cleans up the last 2 players to close the round out when the damage was already done. He's basically just gone and won that round himself. Unfortunately, just a very, very brief tech pause. Staff and open to color to come next. 2 rounds, and both have played out vastly differently. One incredibly dominant by Chiefs, the other a well-worked round by Outlast. 1-1 scoreline. It has, early on, all of the hallmarks to shape up to be a really, really solid game of Siege. Of course, the onus will always be on Outlast to kind of keep on going and matching Chiefs. And yeah, there's only so much you can do if Jigsaw's just going to have one of those days. And you know, at some point, Brendo and Quiz are going to kind of get going as well. So you got to try and stay on top of this. Keep bringing the pressure. Palarazi back on to the Montang for what will probably be the final time in this opening half. You don't typically ban Blackbeard Blitz and not follow up the Monty, especially when Palarazi's on the other team.
So then, does it continue to be a one-man army effort, or will the rest of the Chiefs chip in the kill department? Round 3. Goofed on the Ram, early vert plate in towards that top floor as Palarazi once again, much like round number 1, will lurk in through lobby and offer some horizontal pressure. Rotero's back in play also, and so that would be good counter into both the Goyo and Castle. Triple Bandit, or pardon me, Quad Bandit over towards Quad Wall. Brenda will be pretty eager to lock that down. The Kali, though, should be pretty effective in clearing that particular position. Palarazi has already progressed all the way in through over towards Tullers, essentially uncontested. I don't know if Chiefs are aware of that position just yet. They've elected not to hold above at all, so it's a strong bunker here from Chiefs, looking to test the resolve of Outlast in the execute. Not offering anything on Vert as well in terms of contest. Jacana in the meanwhile taken very low as well, 1 HP. So the early stages of this round slightly tilting towards Chiefs.
Bellcam's still up. I think Chiefs are just wary of the fact as to what happened in that first round, kind of giving a couple of picks away, making it a little bit easy for Outlast. And Jake Hedda, low on health, went for the elevator clear with the bailiff, exit for Jigsaw. And they lose Goofed elsewhere as well, so Outlast just not quite getting as much room, not getting free kills. Chiefs playing a little bit more condensed, tighter positions, forcing clear. Palarazi getting beepers, Oda full well knowing that there's going to be one to follow, so he doesn't overpeak it, doesn't overswing it. Trippin then doesn't get the free kill. Trippin's now preoccupied with Oda, but he does get the kill. They lose King. You win one battle in one position, but you're losing others elsewhere. Now with only 20 seconds left, Trippin caught through the wall. Jigsaw is on a rampage, but shot down by the pistol of Palarazi. Brendo then gets the swift trade. Chiefs take the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I quite like that play from the Chiefs, electing not to overcomplicate defense. Instead, they consolidate site. They were able to isolate the Monty, and Palarazi was zoned out pretty well in that round and not able to have a ton of impact. Jigsaw just given the freedom and the license to run around and find kills. He's clearly sharp today and missing a few shots. So Chiefs on that first rotation come out the other side with the lead. As it called, the Monty will be banned out, so Shield's fully off the board, and Palarazi now needing to pivot either onto the shields left remaining in the hands of Fuse, or just pivot off entirely, and that looks to be the case. Defensively, the Tuba Rao off the board, so the Kaid will persist most critically for basement.
Looks like he will pivot back over to the Fuse.
5 seconds left. Reloading! Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it. Attackers drop the defuse.
So it's basically going to be the same strategy as the opening round, but you bring the Fuse instead of the Montang. You go again, double sniper with the Glaz-Kali combination. The benefit of the Fuse as well is you still get the 2 extra smokes. So 4 smokes available for Jay Kenner to play off of, plus the Capital. So again, I imagine there's going to be a heavy emphasis on really trying to enable that Glaz in this round. That can't be right. 3 drones left already?
Yeah, I feel like drone economy has been insanely out of whack tonight. Yeah, I'm almost.
It's getting to the point where I'm starting.
It's actually legitimate.
Especially when we saw that drone get shot out on Skyscraper and it didn't update, and then I was a little bit confused, and I just wonder if I don't know.
Oh, it's showing 4 in the pocket on the bottom overlay, so maybe there is some glitch at the moment.
Yeah, I think there is. Early gas babe used already by Sage in towards Stock. Aggression here from Outlast. They lose Trippin, so the Kali's down early. The impact is just going to keep Palarazi at bay. Towards Stock, expecting maybe a Janitor swing, but he's got Goofed on the other side of it as well for good measure. Another gas babe thrown out by Sage, expecting this pressure, wanting to meet it with early utility usage. There's one of the smokes again being thrown out, littered around the map now. Quiz with a big kill onto Palarazi, deals with that shield. As small as it may be, it can still have an impact. Jigsaw finds the pick onto Gooft and now has gone to double digits already inside of 4 rounds. Jay Kenner is now unable to do a whole lot considering it's out on that rappel, but King clears out the hallway. Still 1 over towards the elevator position, 2 on the front desk, and Jigsaw losing his life as well. But Jay Kenner can't make his way in safely. And they know where King is located, but he hits the headshot onto Quiz. 3 in the round, and 1 more to win it against Oda in the 1v1. Oh, and he hits it! The long-range shot! Oda peeks it and loses his head. Outlast will take the 4th round, tying up the score 2-2. And what a fascinating round. Again, Outlast take top floor, and the double snipers continue to be a nuisance.
Yeah, I mean, strategically, Outlast did a good job in baiting out Sage over towards Jan. From that point onwards, though, it was just clean shooting from King. I mean, the bait there was good. Jigsaw put up a final state here to trade. Then he got caught. Everyone just feeding in towards King's position. Quiz got a little bit greedy here. Not in a tradable position, and then Oda trying to peek the long angle as well. I mean, that's another big talking point for stage 2 is, I mean, it didn't really make much of a difference considering the operator that he was playing in that instance, but the overall storyline being now with defense, a lot of the magnified scope's being taken away as well. That's a huge bolster on sites like that where there's so many long lines of sight. Well, naturally the attack can actually be favored in some of those instances. And yeah, Oda with the overpeak and following the trend of the round where Chiefs aren't able to win those duels. I'll be pretty frustrated that they let that occur. With that, the scoreline ties. Like that's the benchmark essentially reached for Outlast. And in a matchup where we expected a dominant Chiefs, it's starting to get a little bit concerning at this point. Any more from Outlast in this half, and it goes down as a disappointing half for Chiefs.
6-3 now for King, but again, just the impact to be able to win that round. Dare I say, some of the stage 1 group stage jitters for Chiefs may be coming to the forefront. It's the Jigsaw show, but he hasn't got the side act to follow him. They go basement here in the 5th round. Feels like momentum just slightly with Outlast. Decent work here by Goofed. Doesn't seem like much, but just the way he continues to reposition to not give an opportunity to someone playing below. There was a brief chance there for Jigsaw, but tough shot. And overall, job done by the Mav.
Again, Chiefs not committing to any kind of roam, no peel. I'll check that open area defense. We saw prior, they'll bunker on site, lean into the denial utility of both the smoke and the Goyo. Kaid to force the Mav, and that will naturally slow down the attack. Thatcher as well to be employed, and that will aid in the clear of the wood server. So blue stairs hold from Oda, who will commit. Has Brando in support rack. And so these two will combine to lock down this portion of the map. Others will be ensuring that the back hit and the push down main is covered. Let's see how good the clear is from Outlast. There'll be an emphasis on landing this utility. The Bees can keep Oda at bay. They have a logic bomb as well. And the ROU for late round.
Trades elsewhere, but still an emphasis to push blue, and Oda up close with a shotgun. Able to time that nicely on the double swing from Palarazi and Jay Kenner. And with King's death, no shenanigans in this 5th round. The bunker will stay fortified for Chiefs. Decent early work from Outlast in the setup, but when it came to the execution, Chiefs met them head on. Well, Strippin's not going to give up on the round, but it's not going to be easy from here. And virtually no real chance at winning it. May look to concede. Indeed, he will towards admin. He drops there, he dies, and he knows it. So 2-3 to Chiefs. 1 round to go in the half. And that's been probably the separating factor between the two teams right now. When Chiefs are able to force Outlast into clearing them, into pushing them, Chiefs have been able to win those rounds comfortably. But when it's a bit more open, and Outlast find ways where Chiefs are, in off positions, running around the map, maybe not playing sight, Outlast have been very effective. You think about basement on bank, and the definition of having to push these kind of positions.
Just an over-reliance here on the Grim utility. They didn't have a frag grenade or a flash grenade follow-up, and with no catch on defense, just that one singular piece of utility probably would have been the difference maker for Oda to be killed cleanly, or at least traded. But when they line up like that, and the timing was just a tiny little bit off in terms of the trade window. I mean, they probably couldn't have played much tighter, to be fair. Yeah, that's just the consequence of the over-reliance there on the Grim. But full credit to Oda there, who remained composed and was ready for the trade attempt.
5 seconds left.
I mean, it was clean with that shotgun up close. So round number 6, Chiefs with the lead. Open area was good from them last time out. There was a bunker down on that occasion. And based on the setup, it's looking like it will be much the same here for the reattempt. The Bandit will persist for quad. Hatches are reinforced, left the castle for a bit of burn. Outlast identifying that and looking to get top 4 quickly. Once again with the ramp with
Yeah, I mean, I think Outlast would have taken a 2-4 half, all things considered. Which just goes to the overall nature of the team. A little bit hot and cold at time. Their best is really good. And yeah, absolutely, there's some drone bug shenanigan nonsense going on. 3 drones remain, technically looking at the bottom left. There maybe even be more. I don't know when that bug's been in, how long. But I think it might be just from the start of this stage. Anyway, stock getting opened up in terms of the floorboards.
Attackers have located a bomb.
RCE going out.
Look how concise again Chiefs are playing this. Outside of Jigsaw in basement, everyone else is playing site.
Setting hard freeze.
Yeah, double nitro, 3 smoke. Goyo in play. I think maybe Chiefs in years gone by have, especially on Bank, leaned into the more complex holds above, but maybe sensing that against an Outlast they can look to consolidate. Rendo was posturing for the trick on the wall, but reacts to the fraction too late. I think his position will be known here. Drain will confirm it, so surely should be under pressure in a moment's time, and cleanly taken out, no trade. Okay, 4 versus 4, 40 seconds. And a much more even round now. Outlast with an opportunity to dash across and go for the plant. The ROU will cover this cross.
Oh, Jigsaw's found 2. He's pushed into towers. So he came up bot main and then started to push across in behind. He's taken a very good position. Gripping though. Oh, up close as well. Gets rid of Oda. Double on Kali, and then Jigsaw. They knew he was coming on the flank. It's the old head of Sage. Drake has been able to make his way across. And he then stands up and finds the kill. Outlast will get themselves a 3rd attacking round here on Bank. We are all tied at the half.
Thug AFK. Yeah, Oda got caught there. Surprised there was no reaction. I mean, surely he heard the sound cue of the earlier shot, but maybe just a small enough window where he couldn't adjust. And got caught on a bit of an island. Was being pinched as well from the push over towards quad, so found himself in a tricky spot. That then opened up the opportunity for Outlast to focus Jigsaw, ensure that he couldn't flank, and then Sage isolated in the 1v3. In the face of that, Sense Util was pretty much never going to win that, having to cross both lines of sight to deny the plant. And Outlast making this a fairly competitive matchup, a 3-3 half. Did not anticipate that, especially after the red hot start from Chiefs and Jigsaw specifically. Outlast doing a good job to contain him as the match eventuated. Grim Sense off the board. Kaid will not be available in this half, and so basement will be a little bit more challenging to defend. Probably lean itself into being a bit more of a appeal style, and will likely set that on display for the opening round. Mirror also taken down.
Well, it started well for Chiefs, considering Jigsaw was able to get one early coming out of bot main. Thought he had good flank pressure, but this changed the game. Just a double there from Trippin. Switched on. Oda was switched off. And they get to go defense themselves. Interesting bands. They get rid of the Grim, they get rid of the Sen. So they get rid of some of that utility that at times can enable certain plant execute attempts. Does leave shield play up though, and will leave shield play up for the entire half. If that's something that Chiefs want to play into. They elect not to though in this round. Aid and Mirror band away for Outlast. Only the one Nitrocell here on basement. The Maestro cams and the Vulcan canisters as well in terms of denial. Jigsaw getting to work on the Brava, already getting rid of the default camera over towards the elevator basement. double drone setup with the Twitch and the Brava to deal with a lot of this utility. Could set up Chiefs nicely if they can put those to good use.
Charge in position.
Yeah, so there's the peel. Minute in the round, and Outlast vacating all members back to side outside of Chip, and he holds blue. In contrast to Chiefs and Oda, who was playing the smoke at that particular position with no shield, Chip and playing Warden with shield. That means that Oda, funnily enough, will play a key role in this, and the EMPs can disable those glasses. They can then look to follow that up with the flashes from Sage. No frag grenades from Chiefs, so that's something to note as well. Explosives may be hard to come by, will be hard to come by, and so this shield was actually going to be well fortified for Trippin. It's just critical that he's disciplined in this position and doesn't throw away his life for free without getting value from that deployable shield.
The time starts to dwindle down now for Chiefs. Need to get moving. Still a lot of utility that needs to be cleared. You know, with a little voltage change, just a quick little patchwork. Yeah, so 60 seconds. Vulcan canister pop. I have a feeling this is going to be a rather late hit for Chiefs. Much to the benefit of Outlast. Oh, that's beautiful for Palarazi. Considering he can't even really see if it's safe, not safe, he has to take the risk, gets rid of the X-Cairo. This is going to be a disaster for Chiefs.
30 seconds and a standoff ensues. Outlast in anticipation for the back hit facing the opposing side. Chiefs, not much time remaining, are going to have to go for the Hail Mary execute. They have some cap util at least to play around, and they will be forced into the drop.
Tripping on the Warden, one to watch considering potential smokes out from the Capital. Oda to go deep into CCTV to get the plant down. Ends up being a team kill. Quiz has taken out Jigsaw, but the plant will go down successfully. It's a Hail Mary indeed right now by Chiefs. Trippin does find the kill onto Quiz. Makes it a 3v3 post-plant. Need to retake up above. Oda's already rotating through square. Make his way over towards admin. Brendo will hold inside a server. Need to think quickly here. Outlast as to how they want to play this. Might not be prepared for Sage's position as well towards the hallway. Brendo, easy clear onto Goofed. And a Claymore in place as well. Brendo can really just stay alive here, but with a bit of help from his brother, they find the kill onto Trippin. Palarazi now stuck in no man's land. And Chiefs will indeed land that Hail Mary. Considering how decent of a round that was looking and how it was panning out for Outlast, Chiefs have been able to steal it outright.
Yeah, Chiefs dominating there at the end, even with the team kill. A really good flood red. Trippin couldn't get value from gold on the Warden. Wasn't able to get into a position to deny that plant. And then they stalled out a little bit there in terms of the reposition of the retake. You have to immediately just try and set it top floor or first floor retake for some control on the hatches. But Chiefs, to their credit, were already repositioned there, ready for the retake attempt. They leave Brendo down below. He's ultimately the one that cleans up and gets the kills, but both Oda and Sage played really disciplined up above, and with a contingency in place if Outlast were to have gone for that mainstays retake. So, I mean, overall, really good from Chiefs. Time was certainly a concern, and the execute maybe could have been a little bit cleaner, but not a bad first attack.
And the disappointing thing for Outlast, though, is Hasteman is a site you probably want to be winning defensively. And that was a round in which they walk away from thinking they really could have, maybe should have won it.
5 seconds remaining.
Just fumbled the bag at the end of the round, and Chiefs were able to capitalize.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Brendo continuing his good form since rejoining this roster. I still don't envision this one's just going to blow out, though. I'm expecting Outlast to respond. We go top floor. I'd love to know how that drone bug is actually working. Like, there's clearly something that's triggering the loss of a drone, but I wonder what actually is doing it. Maybe it's just counting like 1 for 2 or something like that. Not too sure. Either way, Jigsaw already top square and already putting on a decent amount of pressure with that LMG, able to open up some of these walls. Long line of sight towards long desk from square. We've been trying to play a really good position to watch for a stock vault in.
Lion scan goes out, bit of information gathered, but it's goofed to draw first blood. Red on the ace falls, and
what a
also
shot.
Shooter's Jig. Good angle from Tripper.
I'm starting to think this one might have OT potential. Outlaster right in this game. And now in a very winnable round to tie the score back up at 4-4. No Jigsaw, no Brendo. That is a lot of firepower. They have 20 kills combined. Only the 7 combined for the remaining 3 still standing into the final 60 seconds of this 8th round. Sage on the rappel outside. Double stack top square for the remaining 2. Goofed is able to find the head of Oda, trying to make his way in towards the site. And even with the ping information on Goof, they cannot shut him down from 2-7 to 5-7 just like that. And trouble will be brewing if Goofed is starting to activate. A slow start for one of the top gunners. And Outlast have won this one convincingly, flawlessly. 4-4. May start to just edge towards match of the day potential. In fact, it may already be there.
Well, that prompts attack from Chiefs. Outlast definitely playing better than they did back in Playday number 1. A reminder that that was a pretty lopsided match against them, only capturing 2 rounds against Dream Warriors, who we had a lot of question marks surrounding how good they may be at this particular stage. We had very little expectation on them, and so it was pretty surprising to see Outlast ultimately struggle in that matchup. Here, though, against G's, already claiming double the rounds and looking very competitive, forcing a tactical timeout, heading into round number 9. Chiefs just left a little bit flat-footed at the moment. Outlast bringing a bit of aggression that's proving to be challenging to tame. Tertiary, though, will be a good test of this defense.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Attackers have located a bomb.
It's been a solid team effort from Outlast as well. And no one really letting down the team. Everyone's had good moments, good rounds. One of those games where it feels like, yeah, they're just on today. Jeez. Struggled in the group stage, stage 1. They would have been coming into this stage hoping it could be a little bit more of a clean sweep. Secure a top 2 spot going into playoffs. Take form into playoffs. And really, as much as there is the double elimination, taking the form into playoffs is just so important. Playing your best Siege at the right time. Well, he was one punch away to the right side of making something very awkward there, Goofed. Oda onto the Montang. Quiz will play Nook Lurk, most likely from garage below, up then up to above. So it looks like it will be a slightly disjointed attack for now. That may eventually wind up grouping back up later. What can Quiz do on the Nook? Oh, Brendo just caught napping in electrical. He actually, though, almost got the kill over towards Archives on the cross from the defender, but timing.
Well, they're inside and pressuring directly. I mean, trying to force the retake from Outlast. Oda not overcommitting to the plant, though, just yet, sensing that it's not really a possibility. Good coverage, though, from Jig. That's big.
Big pop-up. There is still King inside a stock, and Jigsaw might not be ready for this one. Has to be very careful with his positioning. Palarazi can call out some information. King just goes the drop. Aggressive play. Drops down, finds a huge kill. Quitter's lost his life on the Nook lurk, forcing Oda into the pistol play. And he hits the head of King. Days of old of Oda and Sage together against Palarazi and Trippin in a 2v2. So much time, though, in this round means you don't have to force this plant immediately. Nitro thrown gets Oda very low, but he stays alive. Sage has to be a bit more aggressive now. Well, they've allowed the plant to go down, though. Just kind of relieved the pressure there momentarily by Outlast. But as soon as Oda stood up, Palarazi was ready. Sage gets caught. And 5-4, Outlast will take the lead. The quick hit from Chiefs will be unsuccessful, but King was the one that really changed that round for them. The drop from stock, rather than holding passively and waiting for maybe someone to walk underneath, he just goes for the drop. I would imagine off the call from Palarazi, who got some good info from admin. Well played by Outlast, and puts them in the driver's seat now.
Yeah, Chiefs lurking in towards that objective for quite some time. The two players allowed to find something, but you can only sustain that for so long without pressure up above to prevent the hatch drop. Our players still trying to, salvage map control elsewhere. That bubble was eventually going to pop, and Outlast did a really, really good job in initiating that. Now in the lead, 5-4 scoreline. Chiefs not converting their tactical timeout either. It's just starting to unravel a little bit at the moment. We look back at that previous round. Jigsaw doing his best. A lot of angles to watch. Oda did an okay job as well, staying up on that shield. But yeah, great job there from King, turning point in the round. And despite being traded, it was a tricky plan to get down. Outlast allowing it to go down was not ideal, but sharpshooting towards the end there with Oda isolated and Sage forced into a single angle for cover. Basement we go. Defense basement should be strong. Outlast able to convert this round would be 2 match points, and the blowtorch would well and truly be on Chiefs.
5 seconds left.
Drone going live.
This is going to really test Chiefs now. On the back foot for the first time in this game. Testing mental of the team that's newly put together, of course, from a previous iteration, yes, but in some time. Might just be that Jigsaw curse coming back to them, where he's put up big numbers, but it hasn't resulted in wins. The Outlast are going to go full bunker. And when I say full bunker, guys, I mean they've brought every piece of delay utility possible that you can bring in all 5 slots.
Yeah, it doesn't really get much more bunker done than this, really.
Usually you're throwing like a warden or something, but
yeah,
they've just gone full gung-ho. All 5 have got some sort of denial.
I guess you could maybe exchange out like the Tibera for a Maestro, but I don't hate the Tibera here. I think it would be good stall out potential. Displace the push as well, depending on how it's used. And so the Chiefs, reliance on a last second execute here is probably, on the balance of probabilities, less likely to be effective. Probably will prompt a bit of a split push here. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see some rear pressure, depending on how they want to shape up. I really am not confident that a direct default here is going to be effective for Chiefs. It will be relying on some kind of flood pressure. Maybe they do just try and drop red this time around. It was effective last time. Wait and see. Chiefs look to gather some information here. Still a plethora of drones available. Shot drone used to Goyo. I mean, at the moment they're still posturing for a default.
I mean, there's still 3 gas bays, 1 nitro. You've got the Echo drone as well.
Chiefs have a good read. Like, they have the information now. It's how they act upon that that's going to determine the round. They know exactly what they're facing.
They cannot think they can just brute force their way through this. You've got gas babes and the Shamika launcher. And a flurry of utility towards that default position, but Oda has found a pocket of space.
Well, it's not landing.
That plane is going down. He's in the fire,
he's
and
dead,
the
he's
fire
dead.
is going to put him down. Went for the Hail Mary. The send-in will be unsuccessful, and Outlast are on the verge of match point. Brendo, a desperate smoke, picks up the kit, needs to stick it the whole way, but then in a 1v4, and he can't even complete that mission. Outlast with 2 match points. Super one-dimensional hit, though, from Chiefs has cost them. They must have felt like they had done enough in terms of clearing utility. They just needed pressure elsewhere. You had to get main stairs, red, vault, anything else alongside.
It's just not the calculated play. I mean, as we kind of prefaced it, when you're facing that much denial utility going for a default, you're quite literally just relying on the Tachenko missing the shots. Like, that is the win con, and that's just not the win con that a team at their level and stature should be going for. They had to pressure with a drop or pivot back hit or lurk a Raj, have some point of pressure to distract the Tachenko / smoke, find a pick, something, give them an advantage to then flood. A straight default there was pretty much never going to work, barring huge mistakes from Outlast. So they're rewarded in that round. They played it really well. They didn't panic, ensured that the denial landed.
10 seconds to go.
Were, you know, disciplined enough to be wary of any potential lurk. And
5 seconds left.
yeah, I mean, as it was kind of called in the old chat, that play from Chiefs was not the one.
Well, if Outlast win this, it would put them on 3 points to get them out of that 7th spot. It would actually temporarily put Ludvica in that 7th spot, but it's just the shenanigans of 2 play days and a bye, TSG and Ludvica, etc. You don't put a lot of stock into it, but in the long run, it makes the battle to avoid 7th more intriguing.
Oh, yeah, it's far more compelling now. It really did feel like that result yesterday could be, last play day could be a real tone setter, especially for Outlast.
Yeah.
But they've proven that there's likely going to be a lot of volatility in this group stage, which makes for that battle for 6 very exciting.
Well, I think coming into the stage, the onus was on Dream Warriors. Then they kind of met that in Playday 1. Then the onus maybe went to Outlast. They've met that now, potentially. And now it probably then goes to True Synergy Gaming. They didn't get to play today. But now they're the ones that are kind of like, okay, well, we need to get a win.
And they've got Ludvica next week, who are also going to be searching for a bounce back win. So this group stage could be pretty intriguing.
I'm not done here just yet, though. Chiefs will need 2 rounds straight to force overtime. It does mean, though, they cannot get the 3 points from this game. Good information from the drone of Jigsaw inside a janitor. Crippen up to double digits alongside King. 23 kills between the 2 of them. Now beating out the combination of Jigsaw and Brendo. And of course, it was Trippin in the first half with a couple of really good Kali plays. That set the tone early. I think the biggest thing for Outlast as well is just the team play has just been far and away better than what we saw in Playday 1. Pressure from Quiz down below in admin. Again, though, it feels like the time factor for Chiefs has been an issue. There's only 60 seconds left. Bit of square control, admin control, and that's about it. Jigsaw wants to get aggressive. Oda goes into sight, loses his life immediately, but there is a double elsewhere in favor of Chiefs. Brendo's been able to collect both King and Jay Kenner. Big double from Brendo.
Something would be easy for Outlast from this position, now trailing. Need to try and break up this attack and isolate a pick onto Chiefs. They have 30 seconds to work with, Chiefs, so decent pocket of space and time. Chippin could be a key playmaker, though. Diffuser recollected, goofed with pistol. 3 versus 3.
Continues to go with the pistol. Brendo finds the kill onto Palarazi, the LMG. A bit stronger than the little pistol in hand for Goofed. A double from Jigsaw at the end of the round keeps this game going. 6-5. Chiefs will not just bow down. But it was a little scrappy. And certainly the nerves would have been there for Chiefs. Can they force overtime? Staff and Open the final sight of regulation.
Yeah, a lot of just straight duels on that particular site, and again with the general magnified advantage for attack now. Difficult to play those backlines defensively. And so open area for the final round of regulation. Bandit tucked away by Jake Kenner. He'll likely play quad. We'll see what kind of utility is then brought in response from the attack. Interesting enough, Quiz pivoting onto the Brava will be useful in finding defaults, but outside of that, no BPCs from defense. Later on the shield as well, so the blitz available. Maybe indicative of a bit more of a faster tempo in this round. There's that potential as well.
Drone up and running.
Has spawned alley, so maybe rotates E. Sage finding this match a little bit challenging today. 1 and 7 for him. Early map control already though. Jigsaw not contested on that entry. Palarazi passive over towards Jan. Has goofed in support stock, who's had some good moments in this matchup. But Jigsaw is too good. Wow. Massive 2 picks. Palarazi as well, under a lot of pressure. Eventually able to fall back, but the damage done.
I mean, the first kill was relatively normal. The second kill onto Goof, though, was just insane. Outlast looked like they had this one in the bag. They had all of the momentum. Credit to Chiefs for not just giving up on this one. I would have, to say, this is the kind of game they would have lost back in group stage 1. Dropped a couple of pretty poor performances, but at least this is showing good fight. Renal Surge activated by Jigsaw. 3 players defensively left for Outlast. Drippin and Jake Kenner, Palarazi, can they spoil the Chiefs' comeback? Good news for Chiefs, though, is that they actually kind of brought the pressure earlier in this round, leaves them with a lot of time still remaining.
Drain above that open entry means that Oda can't get information necessarily for free. Jigsaw, though, gets 1 more kill. Massive in this round. He's come back alive here and honing in on that 20 bomb.
Oda can go for the plant now. And it does get denied. Up close.
Oh,
well, Palarazi shuts down Jigsaw. They trade 1 for 1. So 20 bomb for Jigsaw confirmed. And it's also overtime that has been confirmed. Well, match of the day for at least OCE is at present. Neither of these 2 teams able to get 3 points, and that's something that could have an impact later in the stage. Although, again, if you're Outlast and you had said you're pushing Chiefs to overtime, they would have probably said, oh, okay, that's not bad. We'll take that. If you had also said you were 6-4 up, they probably would have felt like they could have got all 3 points. Jigsaw just, well, doing Jigsaw things in really the last 2 rounds. Like, it gets to 6-4 and Jigsaw just ramps up the pressure.
Yeah, uncontested entry, given a bit of free reign, and then with the LMG in hand, it's very difficult to contest. So the points now will be split in this matchup, which throws another spanner in the works in terms of standings and how that will all shape up at the end of the day, and the ramifications of that potentially going forward. Chiefs will be pleased that they've been able to at least push this one to OT, but probably also sensing that this kind of matchup is one where, you know, perhaps a team like EP, for instance, would be winning in a more dominant fashion, and that's really their competition, or at least they would hope that that's their competition in this stage.
5 seconds left. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Is there enough firepower left for Outlast? At the very least, you kind of walk away from this game now, sensing that, you know, they're not going to be a team that will take that 7th spot lightly. They will be fighting tooth and nail to make playoffs, and they'll be a threat to any team on their day. For Chiefs, maybe also a bit of growth. As I said, in stage 1, I think they would have lost this game. But they've just been able to fight back. Yeah, it's taken another Jigsaw 20 bomb to do that, but sometimes what are you going to do? If he's finding 2-3 kills at the start of the round, it kind of, again, doesn't leave a lot of kills available for the rest of the team. I will say this is the one site that Outlast really struggled with in the opening half, guys. They did a lot of their better work on the upper floors.
So it's Oda and Brendo again aggressively over towards server, looking at a cordon off this portion of the map. Last time out, Oda got that double. Playing the smoke on this position, there was no flush out utility from Outlast. This time around though, they at least have the Ying available. And with no catch, this could be a challenge. Brendo as well, the Warden, he's not in a position maybe to contest unless they're able to trade positions. All that smoke utility though expended with a minute on the clock. It's critical that Outlast find this pinch.
Oh, they deal with Oda. Well, last time Oda got 2 kills from that position. This time he gets none, loses his life. Opens up this round now for Outlast. And Brendo's low inside a vault. Doesn't look like it's going to be also just a purely one-dimensional hit here from Outlast. Bringing bodies around the map. But most importantly, Palarazi does have the diffuser in hand. There are Goyo canisters still there as well. Just popped in the doorway. He's going to have to go for a default plant, but others will be making their way in from different positions. Main stairs, elevator. Goof trying to take this battle against Quiz, who has to now fall back. We are getting low on time, and if Palarazi loses his life, there's not going to be much of a chance to get this kit down. Jigsaw finds 2. Quiz now needs to find the final 2. Outlast have done a really good job at winning the scrappy battle in basement. They take out the attack and now get to go defense, looking to close out this map. And while all of that was happening, and again, really well orchestrated round, Palarazi was just able to slip in for free, no real contest. Waited out the flames of the Goyo canister. And Chiefs had to take the battles elsewhere.
So Outlast then on match point off the back of a well executed round, well orchestrated, matching the tempo and the pressure that Chiefs continue to try and bring inside of the server. It's been a funny old match. Shout out to Trippin as well, specifically in this game. I mean, 13 kills is impressive. A bounce back after the previous playday. He went 1-9. He was getting wrangled inside of the server, but he's been a key difference maker in this matchup, has been involved in quite a few of those opening duels as well, if I'm remembering correctly, so
5 seconds to go.
It's been good from him. King as well, big impact.
Attackers are
Tripping
moving
2 on entry as well, so solid from him, and a 77% cost. That same consistency, difficult to find on the opposing side of Chiefs.
And Outlast closed this out. Honestly, I think they just straight up deserve to win this game. Chiefs have been good enough to at least get a point, so I think a 2-point win for Outlast is about right. Had the opportunity to get all 3. King up to 15 kills, Trippin 13. 3 nitrocells in this round available for Outlast. Oda will have to be careful on that blitz. And Jkenna has just quietly made his way down bot main. Offer a point of difference later in this round.
Can Chiefs now find value from that line specifically? That's standing out to me in this round. Can they actually isolate some of these players and force some awkward duels? Outlast have done a pretty good job in dictating position. Jigsaw will be key as well, but he gets caught on the lurk. Fortunate to survive and can bring himself back up to around about 60 HP. Trippin unable to catch him as he trails away.
Yeah, just an angle diff. Jigsaw looking left, one on the right side. I think his left leg was then poking out. Fortunately, still has 2 more adrenal surges. 60 seconds, though. There's one more of the surges activated. Jkenna, well, he gets a bit of company his way, and they go chasing. They don't want to just leave him down below. Jkenna throws the nitrocell in desperation. Jigsaw should cut him off here, and it should be an opening kill for Chiefs. Although he's ran all the way through dirt. This is wonderful time wasting from Jkenna, and Chiefs did not think he would be able to go for this sort of play. There's only 30 seconds left in the round. They chased him all the way to basement but couldn't find the kill. Now must make their way in towards the site. It is still virtually a 5-on-4 at present, but Jkenna will eventually make his way in. King finds a headshot onto Oda. No blitz, no shield, but Chiefs are still finding these kills. Goof stands strong on the site, and then it's the barbed wire that shuts down Brendo. 10 seconds for Goof to try and win this one for Outlast. Sage planting behind the bomb chassis. Frags thrown into the direction of Goof, but it's Quiz that hits the headshot, and we require all 15 rounds.
Now Chiefs hold on. And now get defense.
What a round.
Yeah. Wow. Real nail biter between these two. Certainly did not anticipate this match to be close by any stretch of the imagination. To go all 15, quite a surprise.
How good was that from Jkenna, though? I mean, that is some really good game sense and awareness to know that pushing back up blue is just not going to be an option. You've got the blitz, you can't really phase. He wasted so much time. And look, as I said, inadvertently, it still ends up being a 5-on-4 inside just because of how long it's going to take Jkenna to get back, but yeah, I mean, I think he's played that absolutely perfectly. 7-7 basement once again here for Chiefs. As I said, back in the regular rounds, it was a difficult side for Outlast, but they were able to take it to kickstart overtime. Chiefs will go back once again. And the biggest, I wonder if one of the bigger win cons here is just Oda. Last time out in regulation, Oda finds a double kill, shuts down that blue push. The round is just null and void. To start overtime, Oda loses his life. He's the first death. It's then a 5-on-4 for Outlast. They open up blue. They then also can splinter off, and they win the round. Emphasis here will be on Oda to stay alive and control blue for as long as possible.
So it's basement, and the sense is back in play. Outlast will be looking to, once again, posture for that execute in towards the objective of the plan in a bit of an off-center position. High, though, in play, and Outlast have elected not to bring the Mav on this occasion. So I don't think they're going to be able to find a ton of success in opening up these hatches. They do have impact EMPs, I suppose, so Chipper needs to ensure that those are used correctly. We've seen them lean into the map previously. That's the only reason I'm really highlighting it as being a bit of a difference this occasion. Trippin, though, it looks like the EMPs have been effective, so not too impactful. And then the main hatch has been opened up. So clean groundwork, and I mean, that's a positive for Outlast. That means that they can now lean into the logic bomb utility that's on offer. instead of the more restrictive nature of the Maverick, which is solely for the hard breach. Midpoint of the round, groundwork done. Let's see who's better in the late round. I mean, Chiefs on attack have looked good late round. Defensively, they're maybe not quite as strong. They do have the area denial available, not tripling down like we saw from Outlast, instead exchanging out Ludvica for the Warden. And with the Ying in play, that could be the difference maker if Brendo's in a playmaking position. Gold vault currently.
There's Candela thrown out by Goofed. Two Nitros, 3 Gas Babes in terms of utility for Chiefs. Does drop off after that though. Warden glasses activated for Brendo. Anticipating the drop. The Candela's ring out. Vulcan Canister gets popped. Logic Bomb activated by Trippin. Hive Launcher now being utilized. Outlasts are going to hit here. There's 30 seconds left. The ROUs go out. The Gas Babes have landed beautifully by Oda. He still has 2 more available to throw into that pocket. They lose Sage. Not the end of the world in terms of utility. Brendo with the trade on to Jay Kenner. Goof putting a lot of really solid pressure from bot main. Got the head of Jigsaw, and Palarazi can stick this diffuser onto the ground. It is a 3v3 retake. Quiz immediately goes towards admin. Or even further up above.
Outlast haven't repositioned to capture that either, so Chiefs could be on here for the retake, but it's still a challenge. Pal, Lurking Staff, they have presence over towards server. 25 seconds, Chiefs need to move quickly.
Trippin holding towards Garage. Palarazi is the one that will be holding on that first floor. Quiz eventually makes his way. Brendo lost his life to King. Quiz wins the battle on the drop, and then Oda wins against Trippin, leaves Palarazi coming in from square. Drops immediately, but they were both ready and lined up and waiting.
Time?
Well, the time is going to be oh so close. 0.2 seconds, all that has separated Chiefs and Outlast. That was it. Not even half a second. And indeed, a hard-fought victory for Chiefs as they take it 8-7.
Wow. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was getting so caught up in trying to watch the retake. I looked at the timer, 25 to go, and I didn't think to recheck it there towards the very end. So such fine margins between these two. A real tug of war. I mean, it started out with Jigsaw being a massive win con for Chiefs. And I mean, that continued to be the case towards the tail end. But through the mid-portion, Outlast were able to steady. King and Trippin had really big impacts. And Outlast actually in a couple of the clutch moments just able to edge out Chiefs. But yeah, really good contest between the two. Neither showed a ton of adaptation, at least in terms of composition. Playstyle though changed a little bit, I guess, throughout. But yeah, a really entertaining game. Certainly did not expect 15 rounds. And when that plan went down in the 15th, probably didn't anticipate Chiefs to walk away with the win.
Well, I think a very fitting end of final round for this match. And both teams had really, really good moments. It was a easily match of the day contender that may actually follow through even into Asia and APAC North to follow. Good moments from both teams. All players at times were able to, shine. And as you said, even in that very last moment, the clock became a factor that even I completely forgot about. The fact that they were both standing, both off kit to get that kill onto Palarazi. Funnily enough, and Palarazi's not really to know this, but he may have just been able to delay, well, for another 0.20 seconds, and he just drops like, what, 0.3 seconds later, and they win the game. Fine margins. In pretty much all of these rounds, it really felt close. 2v2s, 1v1s. There weren't that many truly dominant rounds. This maybe being arguably one of them, and to be fair, that was maybe one of the worst rounds from Chiefs, where they just went for that full send in through from server into CCTV. 6-4 up. Outlast then had the opportunity to get all 3 points, but Jigsaw activated, and that was the main difference.
Yeah, I guess the question that is, is where to from here for really both rosters. I think it sets an interesting tempo for both. Outlast bounce back. They're now well and truly back in contention for top 6. Not that they were ever completely outruled by any stretch. It was only one play day, but now they've really made a name for themselves that they can test against potentially one of the top 3 teams in the region. And then for Chiefs on the flip side, well, they've been exposed a little bit today. It is only best of one's play day too, but they'll probably be looking back at this matchup, wondering how they let it get so close. I mean, separated by quite literally 0.2 seconds. Only a couple of ticks between them to determine the winner of this particular game. So yeah, it was a fun one. Not the cleanest siege that Chiefs especially have ever played, but it was enough to get the result across the line, and 2 points could be quite important, especially in terms of the context of favourable seeding for a top 2 finish.
So the schedule that we just went through for OCE and men LFO 7-4 over Dream Warriors, really good win there. At one point it was shaping up to be really one-sided. Dream Warriors did bring it back ever so slightly. Enterprise far too good for Ludvica. I mean, their system is unmatched in this region, and they're going to be the team that everyone has to look to take down. They've got top fraggers, they've got the biggest brain, the big fish brain. They're well drilled, and their time in Saudi clearly has benefited them, and they look even maybe stronger than what they were in stage 1, which is scary. And Chiefs pushed to the absolute limit by Outlast, and look, they only grabbed the 2 points for Chiefs. They go to 5 points overall. Outlast get a point on the board. True Synergy Gaming, of course, did not play today, so they remain on 0 points, but they'll get their opportunity in the next play day and those play days afterwards, so their bye now is done. But yeah, look, we're only 2 player days in. You kind of look at these standings. You don't really pay it too much mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's such early days that it's always very difficult to make big assumptions on where teams are going to land from this particular position. But, I mean, especially in the context of Chiefs, I think that's the big storyline from today is that they're good, and I think they have potential, but they can, if they have an off day like they did, they can still, show signs of weakness. So hopefully for the next play day for them, they can, bounce back and show performance. And then I suppose Ludvica as well, a bit of a minor storyline as well coming out today. A bit of a rough matchup for their opening match of the stage, but again, we'll see where they land as well.
Alrighty, well, that's OCE done for Super Sunday. There'll be, I imagine, a short little changeover at time, but APAC North will be, I think, starting within the hour or so. So if you want to, I guess, go have a break or food, drink, whatever it may be, APAC North will be on within about an hour's time. For me and you guys, though, we are done for the day for OCE. And wish everyone a happy day's viewing of Siege, because plenty more to come later throughout the day.
見上げていたあの夜もふと窓に映ったまだどこか戸惑った顔このまま遠く離れてゆく街も君もさよならなんだ夢を追いかけ争っていた自分勝手だね君が言った刺さる言葉孤独の中リピートするふわり風が飲み込んでゆく夜の電車が心地よくて期待してんのバカみたい今は涙の色はエメラルドブルー宝石みたいに光ってる何もかもを捨てたかった憂鬱なあの日々も騒ぎ始めた胸の中の答えを探す旅に出よう流れ星を追い越してくスピードで絶えないメロディー夢が枯葉のように宙に徘徊セオリー私なんだったっけ見えなくてうなる雑踏のクラクションだって 날